Hello, YouTube. I'm Kareem Zamir. Those are the Seekers of Galanti. This is Second Wake. There's a bright, white, blinding thing that is on the side of my face. It is because my monitors are entirely too bright, and there are a number of great things. If you're watching the rebroadcast, we certainly thank you so much for doing that. It's episode 52, which means we now have 1 year of episodes. You could watch every episode once a week for a year and have something new to watch every single time. We're up over 150 or so hours at this point of content, which is staggering to think about. There are a number of people that are not fortunate enough to be able to play Dungeons and Dragons every single week. So certainly, if you're unable to, and you spend your time watching us play Dungeons and Dragons, we hope you're having a great time. We thank you for being here. Do the thing, whatever, YouTube stuff. I don't care. You know, it's whatever. Do what makes you happy. So yes, when we last left our heroes, they started their journey way back in the day with but a simple conversation and a concussion. Deep on the road, leading from Darewood, going across a number of things, escorting a merchant in their plight, causing fire on the farmlands, creating robberies among rivers, arriving with death and delivery, imparting other folks with moonshine and magic items. It has been an entirely well-traveled and well-versed run. I could sit here and name every title from every episode we've ever done, but truly it has been an impressive prologue to our story. We have watched as the Seekers of Galanti have gone from simple weavers chosen now into a more structured ideal of what they aim to be, a influence that they seem to make or want to impart upon the Everworld itself. They have lost some allies in their journey. They have gained yet new, more powerful, arguably, allies. I mean, melee classes, right? In their processing as well. They have ventured from this world and far beyond the veil. They have encountered all manner of terrible beast, be it foul orc, angry ogre, malicious undead, or even the most dangerous of all chocolate bunnies. And they have met every task, every challenge, every hurdle with wonderful solutions and abandon, befitting that of weavers chosen, those who've been sought and seem to be deemed worthy by the realm weavers themselves, the architects of creation within the Everworld, and those now that many seek to replace in the hearts and minds and souls of the thinking masses of the world, are currently 5, soon to be 6 when they arrive back. Brave, young, other than Kobold Jones, he's kind of old, weavers chosen, now Seekers of Galanti, have come to terms with the number of workings of the world and have made decisions influencing, impacting, and changing irreparably the world that they see around them. Again, we, as an objective viewing audience, may say that these choices are for the detriment to the world. We can say that they are for the betterment of all. But what we can say for sure it is in fact the choices that these Seekers of Galanti have made that they feel is right within their heart of hearts. And truly, no god should ever have to answer to those that will remain to be mortal. And that is where we find ourselves today. These Seekers of Galanti have now since returned to Deerwood in our last thrilling episode of talking. I don't know if I can say it that way, but it's fun to say. The Seekers were issued an offer from the great Montserrat in the morning. He's glamorous. A lich of some renown and bardic acuity that is the current leader and voice on the air of MMLR 660, the rhythm of Ravon, and truly the heart and soul of the land to the east. After coming to terms with and having a great long discussion regarding the terms and conditions therein of the representative of what is known to be a principality of individuals, they found a few flaws with the fine print and decided that while not out and out wanting to be an enemy of these individuals, there was no time or no rational thought or reason to, at this point, join in line with this creature and these otherworldly beings, thus telling the messenger, Gil Nova, that thanks, but no thanks. Our heroes at this time have now sought about a number of small tasks, seeing to a number of pending issues within the city of Deerwood, and certainly have embarked on a number of personal journeys, tasks, and side quests, of which they now seek to fulfill, complete, and move forward from. We bring us now to the beautiful home estate of the Lady Galante, where now our seekers assemble and collect themselves within the entry room and entry hall, just a mere few hours before a meeting with JJ Lightning's parents and a family dinner that has been far too long in the making. Seekers Galante, you are prepping yourselves, you are preparing at this point for an evening out with the Lightning family, and I turn it to you. What is it that you were doing in these moments before entering the carriages that have been prepped for you to reach out to the northern edge, past and kind of among Hunter's Reach, where the true farm folks still yet live?
Cole Jones is definitely pre-gaming with a turkey leg.
Cobble Jones is going to be passed out if he starts with a turkey leg now. This man said Thanksgiving, never heard of her.
JJ, what's the dress?
Oh, I mean, it's my family. We've all been there, aside from Celeste and Cobalt Jones. I don't think it's too fancy, although I think Bartholomew thinks he's supposed to wear a suit.
You look over at Kobold, and he is like slathered in turkey grease and wearing his full plate armor, and has, you don't think, ever showered.
I think Cobalt Jones is somewhere along the right lines, but you never know. My mom says she's got a maid now. I don't know what that means. I was just gonna wear the fancy elven prison clothes, to be honest. Those are quite nice.
Should we all wear those? Like matching uniforms?
That might look a little cultish.
I'm not wearing a prison uniform from my home.
No, I understand.
Okay, maybe I won't wear that. Maybe I'll just make my because I can make my armor look nice. Maybe I'll just make it look like a nice coat and some nice pants.
Should we go
and
shopping?
I'll wear these little boots. The boots I got from Ren, or wherever that nice little tiefling girl was that we bought the shoes from.
That was
Ren's
Fork.
Ren's Fork, yeah, that one. And JJ seems like really kind of panicky and just kind of pacey, unable to kind of sit still.
Okay, I'm going to wear some of my older fine clothes then.
Should be great.
As I walk by, I cast Prestidigitation on Cobalt Jones to clean him up a little bit.
You get the first layer of grease right off him. There's still some stuff tucked under some of the scales.
I don't expect that it's possible to ever remove all of it.
Yeah.
Turns out that that's just what his scales look like.
It's fair.
It's a very unfortunate circumstance of birth.
True.
Well, I think I'm going to wear these elven clothes 'cause it's about the nicest stuff I've got. But what should we do about these whole glowing eyes situation? Should I put something over that and then take the stick and tap around like I'm blind? Or how do we play this one off for your folks?
I think it's fine. They may not ask.
Hey,
you
Mama
were
and
blessed.
Papa. I was blessed. Okay.
You
I
were
wear a
blessed.
We'll
blindfold.
call it that.
Probably still see through it.
Yeah, you can probably
Could you
still
still see through a
Would
blindfold?
they glow through it though?
I don't know.
Well,
Let's figure it out. We got some fabric around here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here you go. Just wrap it around his head real quick.
Sure. Yeah, you put a blindfold around Orville's orbital sockets. These two motes of bright, radiant light are dimmed. They're less shining globes of radiance. Orville, you can see perfectly fine. You don't really care. You can see clear through to the ethereal plane at this point, so if normal vision is beyond you, you just don't care. But you can 100% wear this and no seeming effect.
Yeah, no,
You know.
no change for me. I can still see perfectly fine.
I mean, I don't think you gotta cover them. It's just only if you're uncomfortable about your new glowing orbs.
I ain't never seen nobody with glowing orbs for eyes. I don't figure it's quite polite. Table etiquette. Is that the word? Etiquette?
Gilnova had them.
Yeah.
Villanova had
Right.
them. Montserrat had them.
Right. So, a couple of very, very scary folks.
Reputable businessmen.
Just saying. You know
Who
somebody.
said that?
It's a conscience.
I do suppose it is somebody. It is a body.
I don't know. I mean,
Couple
it
of
looked
them.
pretty badass if you are walking around and like doing stuff blindfolded, like you're
That's right.
a force
It's-
ninja or something.
It's up to you, or however you want to
We'll leave
present
this on.
yourself.
We'll leave this on. This
Okay.
is quite alright.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions about this situation?
Is there anything
Dinner or
they-
something else? What? Why?
Oh no, just
Do we have
dinner.
more than one situation? I thought dinner was the
No,
situation.
dinner is the situation.
Okay, good.
I mean,
Once
we've-
each at a time.
Met your parents before. Are you
Yeah.
worried about something?
You know how parents can be. How family can be, you know.
So
You
what
never
worried
know.
about?
Anything that they don't know that we shouldn't mention.
I mean, they're going to notice the cult is gone.
Yeah, the mom will probably notice the cult is gone. I'll just tell her about that. I think she found him kind of charming, if I remember right. I don't know. I don't think there's anything quite wrong to mention.
Does your family believe in the 5-second rule?
Yes.
Are you worried
A
about
little
turning into
dirt
a
don't
giant
hurt.
monster or any birds? Do they have birds on your farm?
No, not to my knowledge. I really hope not. I really hope there's no birds.
They
Then
came
what
into
if
money
there,
from
what
a
if there
goose
are
farm.
birds?
I hope she's not cooking like chicken or something, and then like that thing happens.
So
Okay, I might need to let them know about that.
might be a little late for that one.
It's a little late. Yeah, I think Ma's probably already cooking. That's well. I'm not sure how they're gonna react to the whole Vasler situation. Maybe we should not mention that he killed that cultist.
Wait, what now?
Cultist.
Oh, you know how I had that like freak out last night or the other night and yelled at Vasler and like
Yeah.
had that whole little tizzy.
Mhm.
I got back and that cultist was dead in my room, or one of them. And Belle's got it now. She's
It's
got-
pile of bones. You
Yeah.
need to put that in your bag, actually, although you
Okay.
have time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll go get that. I'll be right back.
So, wait a second. Vaslar killed the guy that you were trying to kill?
I think Vasler and
Point of
probably
order
one
for-
of his.
Sorry,
Oh,
point of
yeah.
order for Orville. We'll go to that in a second. Go ahead, Celeste.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like him and maybe one of his new followers. Very thankful for it. Is probably a good way to put it, I guess.
So,
But
were you
they're
mad at Vasler? We're
I
not mad
mean,
at him then.
Vasler's
It's a good
gotta,
thing, right?
Vasler's kind of got to learn how to like exist when we're in like a town or a city, you know. but also thankful, I guess. I don't know. I took down like they had like runes on the mask. I've got the mask, and then
Oh,
under their mask they had like the runes on their face too. It was really strange.
actually, I can show it. It's deeper than that. It goes all the way down to the skeleton. It's on the skull.
Oh
Yes.
goodness, that is
It
very.
meant like offering.
Take this the wrong
was
way,
what
but
I
you're really
took it
excited.
to understand.
Really excited.
Are they an offering?
I'm not sure the exact intention of the meaning, but that's what I gathered from it. I think that
Huh.
they were an offering. It's my presumption.
Well,
Maybe
let's-
they sold their soul to somebody else and they were doing their bidding.
I think they definitely probably sold their soul to whatever that entity is, that demon. Trying to bring him back, because the more demons have souls, the more power they have. That's what I've learned with working with good old Vaz. So, yeah.
So, has killed the guy. Cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We cut to Orville going into Velithil's room. You open the door.
Oh no, the bag was in my room.
Oh, the bag's in your room?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to go pick up the bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you run
Yeah.
off. You get the shoulder strap with the nice bag of holding at the end of it. You then dart back over. Are you going to her room, or are you going to come back with the bag?
I would be rejoining Vel.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, Orville, you rejoined then. I'm sorry, I thought you were going to her room. I was like, well, I'll describe it. But yeah, you arrive back. You arrive back among the group. Large satchel over your shoulder and a bag of holding at your waist.
So, about putting the things in the bag.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I'll follow Vel's lead.
Sure. The door opens to your room easily enough, Velithil. As you kind of open up, the area in which you've been working to slowly peel the flesh and meat off of the skeleton is kind of cleared out, spaced away. Much of the furniture, I assume, has been pushed away. There's been a nice circular part of, like, at this point, I would assume it's like a piece of maybe like a curtain that you've laid out so it doesn't completely stain the floor. And it's now like piles of ashes that have been kind of meticulously burned away and scalped off all of the meat and the bone. And there is a very nice, clean set of stark white bones sitting organized in a pile. And you can look, Orville, and you can see upon the skull of whatever this thing or poor hapless thing was, these large demonic-looking runes that seem to be burned with black ashes all the way through to this stark white, beautiful bone. And it seems to run down the length of the spine, even, with these various small runes and things that have all been seemingly scored forever within the bones of this individual. Vel points it out.
Well, that's certainly something.
It's cool, isn't it?
I was about to say that's really cool.
That is strange, man. Point of curiosity here, Val.
Yes.
You go making these bones dance for you. What's to keep those runes from making them dance for somebody else? Whoever put that there.
You know, that's a concern that I have. But luckily, if I just get more bones, I can throw away those ones that I don't like that have markings on them.
Gotcha.
Nothing says that the bones ought to come from the same source.
Oh, that's delightful.
Yeah.
Well,
But
in they go.
you can test them, see what happens.
You can add to your. I assume Orville's keeping the bag of holding inventory. You have the bones of a cultist. You can add that to your inventory however you'd like.
Yeah.
One full skeletal corpse of a cultist. Anything else you want to accomplish before you all get ready for the carriages? No? Okay. So you all dress in the finery of which you're able. We'll go down the line here. JJ, you've already kind of said what you're wearing. Velithil, you're wearing your old kind of noble regalia from before you were a Weaver's Chosen. Some of the nicer, fancier pieces you might have still owned. Orville, what's Orville's attire for lightning dinner look like?
Elven jail garb, please and thank you.
Elven jail garb, the nicest cloth he owns. Kobold Jones, where are we at? We said armor?
I'm in full battle ready, get up.
All right.
I don't go anywhere not in armor.
Fair enough. So full battle ready armor, some turkey grease lathered up to give that nice shine mirror coat on his scales, and he's feeling it. Celeste, what are you dressing in?
I'm my armor, but I've left the tooth in my room.
Okay.
I don't think that's appropriate for dinner.
Fair. That's fair. So yeah, you wear your armor, you have your kind of like shoulder cloak that you kind of wear, a number of things, and you leave the big scary monster part weapon in your room, which is completely fine. You all lock up and head out to the carriages that JJ has kind of preset for that and has already spoken to and prearranged. As you all walk out, you see two figures standing amid the kind of like, the sun is beginning to dip low, and so there's that bright kind of hue. You can see the sun is at their backs. There's a rather tall individual and a rather short individual that seems to be held at this point, kind of just like sat near the lower end of the taller individual, and they seem waiting for you all to approach.
JJ will approach and open the doors and try and be as like hostessy as possible.
Sure. As you approach, you come into kind of clearer view from the dying light of the day. The two carriage drivers that you've arranged kind of like pop into motion, both of them being kind of under the employ of the Galanti estate. They both kind of, Miss Lightning, of course, yes, please come this way. We will be more than happy to help you and your party. These individuals state that they are with you. And as they point, they turn. You see the one tall individual and the one shorter individual staying there. Both these individuals are in very fine suits, seemingly far too expensive for either of them. One of them is the rat folk you met just days earlier named Templeton, and is seemingly tugging at the collar. Their scabies kind of like pussing out over this nice white shirt. The sleeves seem to be fitted and made for probably an elf, for someone of very slender design, of which they are not. They are slender in like the ribcage area, but their arms are very wide and like angled. They seem to scratch unnervingly at that. And then you see the shorter individual that is there seems to be, at this point, a large spined rat that is now standing on its hind legs, wearing a suit seemingly designed for a more rotund and larger creature, kind of swimming in this suit, but its pot belly kind of fills out much of the front of the suit jacket, and it and so slowly cleans its whiskers and seems to kind of clean its nose as it waits for you all. And it looks up in your general direction, these beady, blood-ridden eyes that are kind of like bloodshot and very much like fueled with this animalistic intent. And you hear this.
Good evening, folks. Where's Vasler and Buddy?
You see the little one kind of twitch unnervingly and scratch at its nose. And then you see Templeton kind of lean forward and go,
they couldn't make it. They couldn't make it. They were busy. So they gave us these suits and said to go.
One moment. 1 second. JJ
Okay.
will turn around from them and do a sending to Bartholomew.
okay.
Are y'all coming or not? Or am I supposed to bring Templeton and Charles to my parents? You can reply.
You have the sending come back a few moments later. And hear, oh, terribly sorry. So sorry. Didn't have time. Fella tried to stab me. Vasler sends his regards. We'll try to be there. Fuck! you hear, like, there isn't really background noise in most sendings, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say there's, like, you can hear the sounds of steel clanging against each other in the background of his words.
Templeton, could
Yes, honey.
could I ask you to go help them?
I can't.
Bartholomew and Basler?
I can't.
Why not?
I don't know.
Why can't you?
I don't know. I was told I can.
Okay, JJ's gonna attempt to do some sort of connection to Basler at this point, and she's kind of just like walking in like a very small circle.
Circling around.
Yeah. And just trying to see like what his state of mind currently is.
Sure. Give me a charisma check. You're going to reach out your kind of unwaking self between this demonic bond you share with a literal demon.
26.
26, oh goodness. You immediately find those kind of threads of fate that bind you and Vasler, and you just begin to pull what information from the ether that you're able between your kind of bonded demonic force and yourself. You get this odd sense of like adrenaline just like pumping immediately. Your heart rate kind of ticks up probably 20 or so steps. You can feel like a cold sweat run down the back of your neck. You almost feel as if you've embodied a bit of the individual you're trying to reach out to. And there is equal parts excitement and pure unfiltered fear and rage at this point. There is enough kind of coming through the ether of your connection that you're not quite sure what it might take to accomplish a task in this moment, but you feel this kind of like unbridled ambition to assert dominance and accomplish this goal.
Okay, she will send the feeling as if she's asking if he needs assistance.
You get this, and there's kind of probably like a full 60 seconds, I'd say, before there's any type of response. And you just get this very, with the 26 especially, you get this kind of very like filtered, blurry kid with a crayon at a steakhouse vision of a very tall elf with a sword that glows. And there's this like sense of peace that accompanies it.
Okay, that seems to be his. Could she interpret that to be that is his assistance?
Yeah, you get the feeling that like you're asking if kind of Vasler needs assistance in this moment, and Vasler's kind of responding that they have assistance. They made sure to get assistance before doing this foolish thing.
Okay. Okay. All right, fellas.
Yes.
I would truly he does have Bartholomew with him. They seem okay.
Tall one is very, very powerful. Yes, so very good.
Yeah, ever since we came back, yes, certainly.
Yes, fixed me.
And holds up, and you can see there's like a missing finger on this rat folk's hand, and there's like this like seared, burned nub where the finger used to be.
Yeah, that's okay. Right. All right, so they said they're gonna try and come. You guys are welcome to come if you want. It'll be a little like maybe stuffy. I don't know how y'all feel about like uppity, stuffy stuff.
Yeah, what's that?
It's kind of like, I don't know, sometimes Paul can get like a better than some kind of feeling,
Okay.
I wouldn't want y'all to feel like put down on or looked down on or anything, but you're if y'all want to come, you can come, but don't feel obligated.
We are.
Okay, you are obligated. Great.
Yes.
Well then you can ride with me.
Okay.
With me.
Okay.
And we'll go eat some dinner, and then they're gonna try and come afterwards.
Yes.
Whatever they're doing.
Okay.
Do you know what they're doing?
No.
No. Okay. Do you have this? You know what? Let's not have that discussion. All right.
Okay.
All right, fellas. Why don't you hop into this carriage, and I'll be right in.
All right.
As soon as I get everyone else loaded up. Okay.
Okay.
You see Templeton walk forward, and the carriage driver like looks at you and is like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And Templeton kind of like claws, two big heavy rat claws, and like kind of like pulls themselves up and into the carriage. You see their long tail kind of wiggle, and they disappear inside the carriage. Anyone looking in that direction, other than Orville, because Orville has true sight, just sees like a pair of like glowing, beady eyes staring back out from the darkness of the carriage. You do note, however, Charles doesn't move initially, and instead kind of like waddles up, very like March of the Penguin style, up to you, and then tugs at your pant leg with its kind of clawed fingers.
Do you need some help, bud?
It looks at you and goes, and finally coughs up what appears to be a kind of like folded over button. That seems to be of like an incredible design. There seems to have at one point probably been like a number of styles and colors that have kind of emanated through this button. It is now covered in like kind of regurg, as we will say kindly, and a big tuft of hair that's been wrapped around it, and it gingerly reaches to present to you this half chewed piece of button.
JJ will kindly take it.
Okay.
Thank you.
It immediately
so
soaks
much.
your hand.
Thank you so much.
And looks at you and goes, and then scurries on all fours up to the first step, and then grabs onto the second step and kind of wiggles to pull itself up, and then wiggles to pull itself into the carriage.
Miss Vel, can you clean this off maybe a little bit with get like the gunky gunk off? I can handle the hair, I guess. Just the wet drippy gunk.
Yeah. Prestidigitation.
You see magic take over, and you see like a big chunk of the bile and snot and regurg that's been embedded in the hair and the button kind of fall free from it and explode into small bits of like inanimate arcane dust. You look, and you now have effectively a large hairball that's been interwoven between the two remaining kind of eyelets that exist still within this chewed up and re-chewed button. Like, you look at the very corners of this thing, and this thing has been well loved and chewed many a night.
JJ, once they're inside the carriage, will take like a deeper look at the button.
Sure.
JJ.
Yes, ma'am.
Does Bartholomew sound like he wants to be where he is right now?
He sounds like he's having fun. He was stabbed. However, he sounded like not upset to be doing what he was doing. And Vasler like kind of gave me this feeling that like Buddy's the man. Like Buddy's the shit.
Okay.
I don't know what their dynamic is.
As long as he's well with the situation, then that's fine.
You know, because when I messaged, I did the messaging thing yesterday.
Thank you, Charles.
Orville.
Sorry.
When I did the messaging yesterday, he was with Vassar again then. You know, I think that
I want to check in with him in person sometime, make sure he's okay. But we can.
Yeah.
If it sounded like
my
he's
God.
fine. What?
What about them getting along
Shit.
sounds fine to either of you?
Hold
When
on
have
one
they ever
second.
gotten along?
He's honestly constantly looking for affirmation and friendship. If Vassar actually offered that, I mean,
JJ's gonna go into like this full like standstill panic mode.
Mhm.
And she's gonna send another message.
Okay. To who?
And she's gonna send it to Fee.
Oh, to Fee? Okay.
Yes. And she is going to say, Fee, I'm so sorry. I am going to send a carriage. Come eat dinner at my parents'. Thank you. I'm so sorry.
Sure.
Yup.
You send this message out. A couple seconds later, you get it back, and you hear, dinner at your parents? Now that sounds a bit forward, ears. I mean, I'm not really dressed for dinner, but sure thing, I guess.
Okay. And she will arrange to have another carriage pick up Fee.
Sure. The two individuals that work for the lady go, chill, and they kind of arrange like, yeah, her name's Fee. She works for a different family. She's a friend of mine. Can you just go in this general area and just look for her? The carriage driver they get kind of just seems to be like end of his second shift and just stares at you with these big kind of blank eyes and goes, it will be done, of course, for a seeker of Galanti.
JJ.
Of course.
JJ will put a platinum in his hand. Thank you so much.
It will be done immediately for a seeker of Gulanti. Thank you so much, ma'am. And
Thank
immediately
you.
gets in a carriage and whips the horse and is on their way.
She will also tell him like the coffee house.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
Where
and all
to
that
meet.
information. Yeah. Yep. Sorry about that. We'll have one more of my friends meeting us. I forgot I was supposed to meet her for coffee in like the hullabaloo. She's wonderful. Wonderful person. Yeah. She works for the grandmas. So she's very kind.
The grandmas?
Grandma.
Grandma. You know the
Like-
great houses of
Yeah.
Deerwood?
Yeah, one of the other families.
Human?
Fee's human, right?
Fiona Bearheart is another chosen. She is she's as human as you can get. Yeah, for like mountain folk though. She's more like kind of closer to Goliath in many of her build and like statures. But she is full-blooded human. Yeah.
Yep. She is super awesome. You'll probably get along with her, Jonesy. You'd probably get along with her. Good folk.
Very good folk.
Your type of folk.
So, like, a dwarf?
Well, no, she's big and strong and good with her weapons.
Alright, sounds cool.
Good folk.
DM,
Yo.
can I insight check Celeste for any jealousy?
Oh, sure. Yeah, 100%. Go ahead and roll insight.
Alrighty. That's a 22.
Celeste, is there any jealousy as JJ accurately describes your character to Kobold Jones?
Oh, if anything, there was way more jealousy over Vaz getting along now with Buddy.
With Buddy? Buddy's
That
becoming everyone's
becoming
friend?
friends. Like, no, she ain't about that life. Where does this? Buddy's not everybody's bestie. This
They're the
guy.
best of friends. Do 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 do. Kale and Coltis here together. Can't say anymore like my riff on that song or I'll get sued by Disney. So with that, anything else you want to do before hopping in the carriages and heading out to the lightning area? All right.
Nope.
So with that, you all hop into the carriages. Who's the fourth person riding in the carriage with JJ and Vasler's subjects?
I could do it.
You can do it. Okay, Kobold Jones, you climb in the carriage. You see the two rats, the one kind of dire-looking rat, and the rat folk kind of like look at you and go,
Oh, yes. They put all the best people in this one. Very good.
I'm gonna hand Charles the bone that I have of the turkey leg that I was munching on.
you
Yeah,
lean
I'll
it
just-
out, and it gets snatched out of your hand into Charles's mouth, and you start hearing crunching sounds. The bone breaks instantly behind these razor-sharp teeth that seem to kind of coat the inside of Charles's mouth, and it looks at you and stops halfway through it, already gnawed through bone, and goes, and reaches into this kind of like suit jacket pocket and produces out a solid piece of copper and kind of like gestures for you to take it.
Do you want me to eat that?
He wants you to have that.
Oh, okay. I'll take it.
You take
I
it.
don't know. I mean,
You look, and this piece of copper is not actually an official copper coin. It looks at one point it might have been a piece of copper or part of copper, but it seems to have been crushed and rolled very flat into kind of like almost those little like penny things you get at like theme parks. And there is a very crude looking kind of like nose of a mouse that's been put onto this flat piece of copper.
does that mean anything
I don't know.
that I know?
Not that you know of, probably not.
All right.
Yeah, if you look at it long enough, Templeton will look at you and go,
Sorry, the Great One said that Charles should have a calling card.
Oh, that's
Don't you?
that's
always
actually
do-
a great
Well,
idea.
He usually means he owes you a favor.
Oh.
as like Templeton explains this, you see Charles kind of stare at you, Kobold Jones, and goes,
I'll give him the nod.
you give him the nod, and you see like this one kind of like paw go up, and a long kind of black, like very scary looking taloned claw kind of comes out of the paw and looks and points at you, and then taps the side of its kind of like bone shrieking head and taps it, and then kind of like you see the talon go back into the paw, and it calmly puts both of its paws back into its lap.
Oh, that's a pretty nice guy. I'll kind of nudge to JJ.
You know, they're not that bad. They're really pretty decent folk.
Yes. Thank you for saying such.
Yeah, of course. Y'all have never done anything to.
Yes. No, that you know of, yes.
Yeah, that we know of. You know, we could probably leave it at that for now.
I think, okay.
Yeah, let's.
You see Charles again, a bit bigger than like a house cat at this point, from small rat to like house cat size. Kind of just elbows Templeton like right in the hip. Goes,
Talking too much, yes, of course.
JJ's gonna look at that button now and like.
you look at it, and it's like this beautiful looking like multicolored button. It's been melted and probably made out of a number of like waxes and probably like crude plastics. It's almost like a rainbow pattern design. Go ahead and give me a history check if you'd like. As everyone else files into their carriages, you hear the whip crack of the horses, and you guys begin to head out your way out the north gate through Deerwood.
14?
14. You look it over, and you're kind of like, there's like something on the tip of your your mind. You're really like for recalling, and there's something to the design and symmetrical nature of this button. It has been chewed and loved, and you can kind of feel it, and the grooves on it are still kind of new, as far as for like teething marks. So it probably wouldn't be that long that Charles has had this button. But as you kind of like look it over, you're almost assured that someone who could afford this button would be of kind of high social standing. It seems like an arbitrary thing, and probably something we normally would take for granted. But the colors displayed and the actual craftsmanship that avails itself for the type of button this is far beyond just utility. It is very much a statement piece for an outfit.
She'll lean over to Templeton and just kind of whisper, "Do I want to know where this button came from?"
Templeton thinks for a moment. Templeton is actually going to roll their own insight. Templeton got a 3 and goes,
You probably do want to know, yeah. That's probably. You do want to know,
Okay.
yeah. You want to know.
Okay, where did it come from, Templeton?
A very mouthy cleric.
Oh, jeez.
No, I don't know who Jeez is.
It's an expression.
Oh.
Like, oh no, you know?
Oh, I don't.
Okay, well,
Not
now
even a little.
you learned a new expression. When you feel like something's like, uh-oh, you can say, oh, geez. Yeah. Well, thank you for letting me know. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
She will just put it in her bag of holding deep in there, shove it in there. And,
into the other bag we go.
yep, and, sit in silence.
Sure. So yeah, if you would like, you can put in your inventory that you have a half-chewed button of a Ferosa cleric.
I'm gonna kind of nudge JJ and be like, "Do you speak Abyssal?"
No, but I could read it.
Yeah.
If I hear, I can make sure that I could understand it. Why?
No, I just, they're like demon worshippers. Maybe they know Abyssal or something.
Oh, right. I don't think that'll help much for Charles. Unfortunately.
As you say, Charles, their eyes lock on you.
Hi, buddy. It wouldn't help if I used like abyssal or demon speak to communicate, right? Can I roll insight on that?
Sure, go right ahead.
I could help you if you want. I'm trained.
I too am trained. It'd be 19.
19.
Yeah.
That sure was rat for something. But there is, like, as you look onto this literal dire rat at this point, there is knowledge and like wisdom behind those eyes. Like, they're not just the eyes of like a mindless creature anymore. They're slowly gaining sentience, you can tell. And I say slowly, but it's honestly at like a rapid evolutionary path at this point. Like most dire creatures, they are gaining languages and they're gaining intelligence nearly daily at this point.
You know, you might be right. It might be like high time that I learned that myself. But you know, Charles is making strides every day. He's becoming more and more smart and able and great.
I think the word is smarter. Smarterer.
Smarter.
More and more smarter.
More smart.
More and more smarterer.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, unfortunately I can't like speak it to them. I could just maybe understand it. What they're saying.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
Easy is. So you all continue your ride throughout about a half an hour or so outside of the city limits. You soon find yourselves what normally would be a very calm dirt road that leads you out of the city towards more of the farming areas. You instead hear and the kind of reverberation of the wooden wheels, the wooden wagon wheels, against what sounds like stone. And it seems to be there's like this echoing presence as you exit the city of this very kind of like almost city-like sound. There's definitely a gap when you leave the city towards actually getting out to the farmlands, but then you start hearing these kind of like almost like a car going down cobblestones kind of sound echoes in each of the carriages.
This is new, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's different. I wonder who
What's
put
different?
that in. There wasn't like an actual road before.
You all
Maybe
can hear it in the other carriage as well.
Maybe the families got together and finally put like an actual road in, you know.
Didn't you say your parents had like a maid or something?
Yeah, but you know, some folks have like someone that comes and like cleans every now and then, you know. Maybe mom just cuz she was expecting us like hired someone to come in and help clean, like one of the other misses at one of the other farms for some help. You know.
But I mean, if that was the case, don't you know all the people that live around here? Wouldn't you use their name?
I would, but I wouldn't know who she would have hired. You know, I haven't been like home in a long time, and the last time we left, I had set up like a whole trade with some folks up in Iskander, and I think they've been keeping my folks busy. So I don't know if that's done anything else other than busy. You know, maybe made them wealthy. You know, you never know.
Yeah, seems like maybe that's the way it is, but we'll
Okay.
find out.
We'll see.
And find out you shall. As you guys continue on your journey, you eventually reach kind of like a sound of like cobblestone underneath the wheels of the carriages. You also begin to hear kind of like faintly throughout the doors the sounds of music being played openly in like the public space. You feel the slide to the front carriage and then of course the back carriage as both carriage drivers look both you all over or the groups over and go, we've arrived at the homestead. This is about as far as they'll allow non-foot traffic to approach. You all need an escort?
I hope not.
You can hear kind of like a big band playing in the background.
JJ's gonna kind of hop out before everyone else, and she'll help Charles and Templeton hop down as well as Cobalt Jones since they're little.
Sure. You exit immediately, and as you're kind of beholding the scene in front of you, Cobalt Jones, you watch with like lightning speed. Charles jumps and lands on the door frame, and then claws his way up to the top of the carriage. You see Templeton kind of nod to you and lean real low and kind of clutch the top and then flick their legs all the way up and kind of do like a half somersault on top of the carriage as well. And you see it kind of like creak down a bit. JJ, as you walk out into the scene, you look over and you can see what is arguably the start of like a market square. You can see these bright red stone pavers have been laid across a large bulk of what used to be kind of like just a communal area for the various farms and kind of collected open lands that were shared between farmers and farmhands out here to the north of Deerwood. Now it's all been kind of paved over. There are a number of these large red paving stones. You look and a number of farms have kind of been repurposed a bit, and they're now like large kind of areas that seem to collect rainwater and other types of like more artistic flares that have been invested into this small community. You look out and there's a large kind of double wide set of gates that have now been opened wide for the evening, and sat where your parents' property is no longer the home that you remember growing up in, but actually like a very large, kind of even more expanded on, almost like a cottage mini mansion that now exists in the place of your ancestral home. Just adjacent to that, you see a massive, and I mean truly massive, bit of property that has been expanded off of the main area of your parents' farmland, and it kind of crossed over just a little bit into the neighboring area, which you know to be from the Tipper family farm and your friend Millie. You look over into that area, and there is now an adjoined, and I mean massive barn that's been raised, and there is a bright glowing sign that radiates this arcane sort of energy, and it says Busrun's Brewery presents, and it says let's see here, yes, Lightning Barn House. And it looks to be kind of like almost a themed country club, like a nightclub for like music and the like. Sitting outside of it is a full kind of country band. You see a number of farm hands and other individuals sitting around and partaking of large glasses of drink. And the band itself seems to be a collection of kind of like banjo and hurdy-gurdy and some kind of like more brass instruments that are kind of customary for the area. But all of the people who are playing seem to not really fit the mold, so to speak. They all seem to be kind of born in like the kind of city look and garb for the most part.
Damn city slickers.
Yeah, they I don't know if they know what they're doing. Oh, wow, this is a lot to have happened in like what? It was like a month or so, maybe
Couple
2
months.
months. Holy weavers!
Everyone exits the carriages at this point. Templeton and Charles sit on top of the carriage that they're on. You see the carriage driver being like, could you ask them to get off? We'll wait for you as long as needed, but...
Yeah. Of course. Templeton, Charles, could y'all join us down here? Also, I've got one more ask once the carriages roll away.
Yeah, fine.
And they both kind of hop down off the top. You see Templeton jumps down first, and then Charles jumps down and lands on Templeton's head. And you're...
Okay.
And like kind of like you see Charles crawl down to the shoulder and like does the lazy cat thing of like upper torso leaning halfway over the shoulder and then butt hanging off the other side and just kind of sits on Templeton's shoulder. Or lays. Full Garfield lay.
JJ's gonna give Charles a good old ear scritch.
Sure.
Kind of like the possums like to get, like good
Yeah,
old
you
scruffing.
you go back there and you scruffle the back of the ears and you feel something wet and kind of peel back a bit at your touch. And you pull your hand back and there is a bit of Charles's skin that has come loose into your fingers, right under the beds of your nails.
You know, I thought it was going to be a little more pleasant than that. If I could just ask y'all not to kill anybody tonight, unless I like specifically say kill somebody because it's a danger. But if we could just not kill folks tonight, this is my parents' home. You know, you don't shit where you sleep, or you try not to. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't shit where I sleep.
I can shit where you sleep.
I would prefer if you didn't.
Oh, okay.
Huh? And he turns and looks at Charles, and Charles kind of squeaks to him a bit, and goes,
Question. Little small,
Okay.
tiny question. Little
Of
tiny,
course.
little question. You said kill 4 times after saying, when you say kill, that we kill. So is that yes, no, or is it?
No.
It's no.
How about if I give like a safe word? You know.
Safe word. Okay.
Yeah. If I say something like
Yes. Like
bonanza.
bonanza. Okay.
Yeah, bonanza.
Okay.
Nobody
and they
used
immediately
the
start
god.
walking near the nearest person after they hear Bonanza the first
Wait,
time.
no, wait. I'm explaining the rules.
But you said bonanza and the bonanza.
If I say that word one more time, that
One more
means
time.
we can duke it out.
This
with-
guy?
And points, and you just see there's like a couple of like farmers and like their overalls, but like really nice dress shirts, and they've like rolled their sleeves up for the day, and they're like having a couple beers, and like they look at these strange. Again, both these rats are in like very nice finery. They're as close to like tuxedos as you could probably afford, and they're just like, "What do you reckon that is?" I don't know, Steve, but it ain't natural. They're sipping.
No, I will point my rapier at it.
Rapier.
And say the word,
Okay.
and I'll that'll be when and who.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. All in one, then. All in
Yeah.
one.
He
So
looks
it'll
at
have
Charles,
to
and Charles
have
is like,
it'll have to have both me pointing the rapier and saying the word.
Okay.
Both those.
Good
Okay.
system. Okay.
But we're gonna go eat dinner with my parents. So
Okay.
let's go eat some. Hopefully there's no chicken
Okay.
or goose. Let's hope there's no goose.
Okay.
Okay.
I like gooses.
You can eat as many gooses as you would like if they're prepared.
Okay.
Geese?
Yes.
Geese.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry.
Good.
Anyways.
Yes.
Now,
Now, yes.
and you see
Let's
Templeton
go
like
ahead.
follow along and just like hunched over. Charles just plapped over Templeton's shoulder. The rest of the group, you all
DJ.
meet up.
I'm confused now. When do we kill?
when I say that one specific word and point the rapier at that specific person or creature.
Sounds like a lot of rules.
Yeah, but you have to make a lot of rules with them. And be very specific.
Well, I guess you know.
Yep.
It's the word.
Nope, I can't say it.
Just spell it.
JJ will cast message, and
Okay.
the word will appear in Celeste's head.
There you go. All right.
What's the word?
It's bonanza.
And she will do that to each and every person. She will make sure that
Sure.
they know not to say that word.
Sure. Each and every person. So, yeah, Steve's like, Bill, did you hear that fucking word in your head? I never heard bonanza before in my life.
Do not say that word.
What? That's fine.
And JJ will lead them up to the new property.
Okay. Yeah, you head on over. You look, and yeah, the open part of the property previously was kind of further back, and you had your fields in front of the house. Now, much of it seems to be kind of the back of the house. The small kind of cottagey mansion has been erected and built in front of like the old foundation for the old house, and seems to be of immaculate design. As you approach, you look, and there's a small kind of rocking chair, and an individual kind of looks up and goes, oh, and stands up, and you see this old kind of like goat horned individual with kind of curled back to about the middle of the neck, stand up and has a long kind of billy goat chin beard, and looks to you and goes, well, if I never seen it before, you mightn't be Ms. Lightning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are correct.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Miss Lightning. I'm the doorman. Your parents done hired. My name is Cletus.
Well, very nice to meet you, Cletus.
Merry meeting
How
you.
long? How long you been working for my parents?
Oh, well, what's it been, about month and a half, give or take? Real nice people we got here.
Oh, that's very pleasant. All right. Well, if you don't mind, maybe I can go in and see them.
Well, you're expected for dinner, of course. Of course you can go in and see them. Why wouldn't you? I'm just here to open the door for you. Just a moment.
Could I have you
Huh?
allow something for me as well, or maybe I'll make sure it's okay with my parents.
Oh,
But there's a third carriage coming.
a third carriage.
Yeah, with my friend Fiona.
Fiona. That's a beautiful name.
She is a wonderful person. However, I think she was recently injured on one of her missions, but if her carriage could, come on through so that it's not a huge hassle for her walking.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, just if you could ensure that, her carriage gets on through, or like some way that makes it easier for her to walk,
Sure. Does she need a device, an enabling device? We got a wheelbarrow out in the back I could go fetch for her.
I don't know if she'll like the wheelbarrow. If it worst comes to worst,
Right.
maybe the wheelbarrow.
Well,
Um,
I'll call old Greg, and Greg will just snatch her on up and put her in a wheelbarrow. We'll bring her right to the table for you.
okay. She's a strong one, so
Oh, so's Greg. Greg's real
okay.
strong.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Cletus.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, Miss Fo.
JJ,
Yes, Miss Fo.
the other late arrivals potentially.
Oh, right. There's also a elven fella,
What there is?
and a small
Furry thing.
well, not furry.
Small
He might be
furry
in
thing.
his fancy suit, a very shiny suit. Their
Shiny
names will
suit.
be like Bartholomew or Buddy and Vasler. They might show up later as well. They are with us. It's okay.
Bartholomew and Vasler. Okay, I got, it's like a steel trap up here.
If anyone says
got
they're
it on.
coming, if they says they're coming here to see us, or see me, or that JJ invited them,
Okay,
just come get me.
come get you.
Yeah, because then I can help you out, But
Okay,
Fiona's the
okay.
important one. Fiona. Yeah.
Fiona. Beautiful.
Yeah, Fiona's a very, very important one. That she gets up here with most comfort.
Oh, how about that? I have a granddaughter, and she name is Feagora, and she's a lovely being.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a very fun name.
I've got her picture here in my wallet. Hold on. And he reaches into his back pocket and like shakily, because he's a very old goat, shakily pulls out like a folded piece of leather and unbundles it. And you can hear like some coins rattle around in this like small coin purse, and reaches in and produces what actually is like a tin, like a metal piece of tin that has a flash piece of art on it, and shows it to you. And you see this very old, long goat horned individual sitting on an old rickety chair with a cane. And there are about 6 other individuals that are all kind of like goat horned and longed, all in various like ages. It's a bit blurry because it's a tin pressing, but you do see them all kind of like with one hand on Cletus.
Oh, how wonderful! You sure are blessed.
Oh, I like to think so. Every day that your father pays any type of monetary salary to me, I feel real blessed. He's such a good man.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Cletus. We're going to head on in, if you
are?
don't mind, sir.
Oh.
Oh, are we not supposed to head inside?
Who? Oh.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Cletus.
What? Hold on. Wait. I was supposed to greet Miss Lightning.
You did. You did a great job. You did a fantastic job.
Okay. Well, if
you
say so.
You've greeted us and everything. You can sit right back down on that chair. Get nice and comfy.
Okay. Sure.
She will help him over to the chair.
Yeah, like slowly, like very like wobbly, heads back to the chair and goes, "You're just the nicest person I ever did meet.
You are a pleasant man, Mr. Cletus. Thank you so much for your greeting."
Hey, thank you too.
All right.
You look just like the girl that was supposed to show up tonight. Antlers, ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. You tell her her mom's having dinner made for her if she shows up.
Okay, great. Yeah, you have a nice old sit right here. I'll get the door.
I'm planning on it.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, right?
All right, I will.
All right. And JJ will just kind of creep over and just open the door.
You walk over, open the door, and you see you're just kind of sitting there in this chair and like looks up at you all and kind of just like very shaky old man at a chess table kind of wave to each of you. And you all enter into the house without issue. As you all come walking in, you look and you can see this like very well-dressed individual kind of like in a full kind of like southern suit. It's like this bright white and checkered suit, kind of turn and look in your direction, and kind of like curiously look you up and down and goes, Well, as I live and breathe, if it isn't JJ Lightning herself, and I'm assuming these are the Seekers of Galanti, ain't they? Oh, goodness gracious. And walks up and like immediately just does the big old country diagonal hug right on you, JJ. Goes, how the hell are you, cousin? It's been too long.
It's been a hot minute, ain't it?
It's been far too long.
It's good to see you. How you doing? Yeah, these are my adventuring folk and a couple more associates of ours.
Oh,
so,
how about that now? Fair and fancy folk that doesn't have the Weaver's blessing now. Is that just absolute blessed? Each and every one of you, greetings and salutations. I'm sure you've heard all about me. My name is Uncle Theodore. Theodore Lightning, of course. I'm proud of the proud Lightning lineage. Did a bit of traveling in my youth, but back here now where the family needs me, of course. JJ, your long history with this uncle, you've probably not seen since you were in equivalent diapers. The only thing you've ever heard is like, don't ask about the uncle. And your dad, it's always been like a sticking point about his brother. And it's one of the things now where it's like, just casually being here for family dinner seems a little bit odd.
Right, great to see you.
Hey, great to see you all as well. I've been hearing all kinds of talk about y'all. Maybe bend your ear a little bit while they're still getting dinner ready up in there. I've been hearing up on the old airwaves that you all are something special. You look, and this individual is a shifter, much like JJ, but has more kind of pronounced, kind of crooked horns that seem to be kind of like forward facing. What you'd expect out of a deer that constantly is in like a struggle or a fight, that honestly will like knock horns together. Still has kind of large, kind of rabbitous ears, but overall seems the horns on this individual are much more pronounced in this like kind of checkered suit.
Well, we certainly have had some very interesting adventures, and hopefully many more to come. I'm sure there will be many more to come. We still gotta be, debriefed and whatnot. So.
Debriefed? Well, that's fancy talk I've done heard.
We just came back from a long haul. Gotta talk to the lady and see what's next for us.
No thing or two about that. You all finding the road well traveled to be what do they call it? Much to your liking? You gotta have cool stories. I'm sure I've been hearing all kinds of things about all the different businesses you all are part of, and all the wonderful magical type sorts of people you've been encountering. That individual first thing in the morning, every morning, I don't miss a show.
Unfortunately, we had to.
Would be way more interested in your stories and what you have to tell us.
Oh, my story. I mean, I'm
your adventures.
I'm a humble traveling salesman. I've been that way for years. The road's always been my calling, but when family has a need for someone that they can trust, that's where I show up. Lickety split, here I am, ready to put my back to work for the good of the Lightning cause.
Yeah, what are you doing for Pa?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Lots of things to negotiate with someone as versed in the languages of the land as myself. So, just overseeing a little bit of the northern shipping routes and the like, and going on a number of adventures of my own throughout Hunter's Reach, all the way up to that there human type settlement, that Grim Village place with all them hunting types.
Right, wonderful. JJ's gonna kind of look around him to see like if there's a view into like the kitchen or something.
Yeah, you look past like this entry hall that he's kind of like stopped you in, and you look, and like there are beautiful pictures that have all been hung up in this like entry area. But like any kind of country home, it's kind of like that nice open like sitting smoking area, and then it leads into kind of like a more open area, and you can see there are probably at least a half dozen people or so that are kind of like musing around and looking at stuff. Many of them already have like glasses and drinks in their hands, and they seem to just be kind of like roaming the open hallway that you can see, that kind of like small doorway past this individual.
Well, great to see you, Uncle Theo. We're gonna go say hi to Mom, Pa. It's been a while, so
Has
thank
been a
you,
while.
and great to see you. I'm sure we'll talk in a little bit. All right.
Hey,
All right, and she's gonna push on past.
you
and-
like push past. It's all right. Hey, good talking to you. Talking at you there, JJ. Glad to see them Lightning family manners ain't lost nothing. I love that hospitality, girl. Absolutely tremendous. Super glad to see you again. So short when and you guys are like all walking past this guy.
Yeah, I'll shoulder him in the other direction.
Hey, sorry about that little fella. Didn't see you there. You look, and like those of you, Cole Jones especially, like being towards the back of the group, you look, and as the two members of Vasler's organization like kind of walk back and are like walking by, Templeton kind of just like does like a like no hat, but does the like I'm tipping my hat to you, sir. Like this is what normal civilized people do. And you see Charles's hair go up on end when they walk near him, and Charles has one black claw come out and points it at this man, and then does not stop until like they can't look at them anymore, and then sits up on Templeton's shoulder, turns around, and keeps staring at them, and goes, "Man, that's a weird mother." And like you guys exit into the other area. You eventually arrive into kind of this like open greeting hall, and you all note a number of individuals that are all shifter in race and nature. Many of them have large kind of like rabbitous ears, which tend to be more from JJ's mother's side, whereas the actual jackalope shifters tend to be from her father's side. So those few folks that have these larger horns seem to be part of her father's side of the family. In this room, you see about 3 or so that are of JJ's father's side. Many of them are all dressed in suits that are very ill-fitting and more what you'd find at like almost like a country swap meet, or like we have to go to church, like a Sunday best, rather than like a business suit. The remainder all seem to be mostly like middling-aged women. That the 5 or so that are in the room seem to be either wives to the men that are visiting, or aunts of JJ's. Many people of which, JJ, you probably have not seen in your entire life at this point. Many people that either live too far away or tried to settle up other places. So to see them here on this night seems rather strange, but not overtly so. As soon as you walk in, you recognize this kind of older man who is, for lack of a better term, kind of like on the last few hairs on like their kind of like lineage and where they're at for their lifespan. They're kind of like wide and low to the ground. They have wide inset cheeks and very kind of like rabbiting features, and these 2 broken horns that are like ended in splinters in a way. Their ears droop to either side of their head. And you actually know this to be your father's father. This is Reginald Lightning. And he is a very rotund and like low to the ground shifter of a man. And as you walk into the room, he goes, "Well, now that's something for sore eyes if I've ever seen it." Is that little Lightning? And everyone kind of stops and turns and looks, and you see kind of like, again, just based off of stature, starts kind of like wobbling back and forth with each step, kind of like that heel toe kind of jiggle over to you. He goes, oh, look at how tall you gotten, girl. You're still slender as an absolute twig, but you got time to put meat on them bones.
Yes, sir, I do. It's good to see you, Pa. How you doing?
Oh, good to see you as well. Did you see we got I hired a guy for your father. He got me a doorman. We have our own doorman now.
Mr. Cletus, yes, I got to meet Mr. Cletus, and he
Cletus.
showed me
Fantastic fella.
He showed me the little tintype of his grandkids.
Oh yeah, he's got all them little kids, but doesn't beat the real thing now, does it? And he goes and just like hugs at you, but again, it's about like waist high, like very, very short individual, and goes, "Oh, it's so good to see you. Let's show you around to everybody." And goes around and goes, "Look at this, my granddaughter's here. Look at that. She's one of them hero types you done hear about on the air." And goes around and like openly, like Reginald goes forward and like actually like introduces you to every member of the area, kind of goes through and kind of the patriarch of the family. And again, another member that, even though there is this close familial bond, has never really visited the farmstead, has never really had a presence in your life growing up, has never really had a reason to come visit, and suddenly finds that now. You meet most everyone here. It is, again, kind of like cousins of yours, members that kind of fall off from the family under your uncle's side, and their wives or the women that they are currently engaged with otherwise. Two of the women from your mother's side are kind of like members of, like, not extended family per se, but both of them kind of share like a third cousin kind of relationship to you personally. They're on your mother's side, but they're also like a bit of a estranged family, to say the least. They go through, formally introduce each member, and then turn back to you, and you see your grandfather look to you and go, "Well, your father's still running around. Your mother's in the kitchen yelling at the maid staff we got now." But who are these beautiful folks back here? Nice to meet you all. And reaches out his furrowed hand.
Well, this first is Miss Velithil Downbay. She is essentially our captain, our leader.
Wow.
Very esteemed, a great wizard.
Wizard. And a couple people are like, "Ooh, wow!" Like just the word wizard. They're like, "Ooh." Wow, you're a wizard.
We've also got Mr. Orville Geely Judd.
Geely Judd? Am I saying that right?
Indeed, sir.
Geely Judd. Well, nice to meet you, Geely Judd. I like that name. That's a fun
all
one.
mine, sir.
All right. Pleasure indeed is all yours.
We've also got Miss Morgan Quinlan.
You look around. There is no Morgan.
Oh, shit.
She never arrived.
Well, sadly, we don't have more tonight. She had to take care of some business with her own, which is totally understandable. You know, it happens.
Okay. Really hero stuff and such?
Yeah, you know, it's stuff she's got to handle, you know.
Okay.
We've also got Kobold Jones.
Right.
A great muscle.
You see Grandpa, before Kobold says anything, turns to Celeste, goes, "Pleasure to meet you, Kobold." Oh, yes, the purple one. Yes, of course, that's the muscle group, of course.
Was there any food around? Any hors d'oeuvres or something?
You look around, there's a number of plates of like cheeses and like small pre-poured glasses of moonshine and milk. And even the milk, you smell it, and there's booze, and there's like whiskey in this milk. But there's been like crackers and things.
I have like a bunch, like an armful of hors d'oeuvres that I'm eating.
Well, grown boy needs his food. I guess that's just how that works. Well, hell, okay.
And then this is Miss Celeste Marigold.
Okay.
Another great one of muscle and ability, and you know, all these folks are great. Really pleasant as well, you know.
I know you. I know you better than you know yourself, I'm sure. I've probably heard your radio story at least 4 or 5 times, Miss Celeste. You're something of a local legend around here. I heard you killed a bunny.
It was a chocolate bunny.
Oh, that's fine. Bunny. I'm more of a snow hare myself, but I don't have anything against chocolate, fellas. They can't choose their fur color. I understand. I just ask you to maybe keep your hands. We're all friends here. What's that?
It was a literal chocolate bunny.
What?
Like a giant chocolate bunny as big as this house.
Why would you break a chocolate bunny? Why'd
It was
you not
going
eat
to
it?
eat us alive. It was going to eat it. It was strange. The
Tarnation, it's
Feywild-
gonna eat you alive? A
the
what?
Feywild-
Created by magic.
Yeah, the Feywild is a weird place.
You
Some
Very
would say
strange.
It's too sweet for its own good.
Oh, you
All
know,
right.
that's a good one, Miss Celeste.
Say okay. So
It took me
it was a con. Oh, I'm
whole
so
time to
sorry.
think
You
of
know what? I'm so. Woo. I've been so riled up after I was told I was gonna meet you. I heard the story at least 10 times. Love the story. I was
Tell us the
fixing.
story. How does it go?
Oh, it starts out you're hunting down the jungle, brandishing an ancient tooth for some monster you'd ripped the mouth out of. That's my favorite part. They talk about you skulking through this floss-like, what's it called? And you're
Foliage, Grandpa.
foliage. That's the one I'd like to hear. And you're stalking around like some sneaky snake in the grass. And you come upon this helpless, large, rabbitish fella. And you look at him and say, "Not today, scumbag." And that's when you whip out your tooth and you beat the living shit out of it. I love that part. That's probably my favorite part. Honestly, other than the poor, unfortunate son of a bitch that gets it done to him. But, woo, I love it. It gets my heart, my ticker running something fierce. They talk about you planting your feet and drawing on the strength of your ancestors and bringing it to bear against this rabbit. You know, every time I hear it, I'm like, now that's a good rabbiting fella. And then you kill him. And I tell you the truth, I was fixing, when I heard you might be showing up, I was fixing to give you a piece of my mind. Something serious about that one, but all big misunderstanding. My fault.
You're good. And then these are two of my associates, somewhat. This is on his shoulders. That's going to be Charles.
Charles, okay.
And then Templeton is the fellow carrying him.
Templeton. Okay, I understand what this is. Nice suits, gentlemen. Don't worry about it. Hey, it's your services are on the Lightning family tonight. Reaches forward and like pulls out of the front pocket 2 like pieces of silver and puts one in the front pocket of Templeton and hands the other one to Charles, and Charles immediately like holds it in their little talons and goes and just eats the coin. Goes, "That's one way to start for sure. But don't worry, you butlering types, we don't really need just lurking. So there's a nice little area where all the servants can hang out just down the hall. But you won't be needed no tonight." They both kind of like stare at this like small rabbitous man and then look at JJ and go,
Yeah, don't
Charles
worry
pulls out
about
one
him,
claw.
Pa. Don't worry about him, Pa. It's okay.
"Okay,
They're friends.
Fran,
they
you
just
made
wanted to
friends
look
with these
nice.
servants. Okay, that's good. No, that's good.
They just want to look mighty nice for y'all.
Okay. Well, okay.
Where's Pa?
Oh, he's just out in his study doing a couple of facts and figures real quick. He's got a fella visiting in him, talking to him about the future. They've been at it better part of the week.
Who's visiting?
Oh, rather short to the ground fella like myself. A big bush across his face and, if I don't mind saying so, briskets for arms.
Oh, is it Lord Busrin?
Oh, Lord, who? Oh, no, the fella on the top of the barn? No, I ain't seen nor hair nor tail of him. Just some individual, I'm not quite sure who's it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go say hi to Ma, and then I'm gonna go check in on Pa.
All right,
Okay.
you do that. Hey, I'll keep your friends company. Oh, how many of you are familiar with the moonshining business? All right, pull up a chair. It's going to be a long one. And you start hearing this older man start talking about, when I was about your age, and points to Kobold Jones, not knowing that Kobold Jones is 40, thinking Kobold Jones is the youngest one. Goes, I was a slender man and hungry for ambition. Then kind of goes from there. Who else is trying to escape this horrible scenario with JJ?
Oh yeah, I'm gone.
Kobold Jones is like,
He
stuffing
points
full of
to
cheese.
my back. Yeah, when he's
I will
age.
look to the group and be like, if you all want to get away from this, I will take this one for the team.
I grab one of the moonshines off the table and just kind of like circle around him and make my way out the door. Like, not today.
I will keep this man's attention.
So yeah, he starts in, and you just hit him with the easiest, like, that is so interesting. He goes, well, that's what I'm talking about. Look, the wizard thinks I'm interesting. Yeah, I won't miss if I don't mind saying so. It's a rather interesting story. See, what you got to do is you got to get a distillery, and then like starts in on it, and you're completely feigning, like, I assume like arcane sequences, or you're just like actually thinking about real things, and then it's just like, and there I was about to get shot in the yard, and everyone else just escapes out. You see all of the other members of the family in attendance are just like rolling their eyes. They've heard the start of the lightning moonshining business probably a million times at this point. Definitely at least 10 times this night. They've kind of heard that. So with that, you all escape. Everyone except for Velithil escapes into the kitchen. You look over, and as you guys kind of like peer into the back and look through the kitchen, you look and you see this rather tall individual sat behind a large set of like brand new kitchen cutlery, and is currently chopping and preparing and plating a number of things. And you can see that they're kind of like half orc in nature, and stood next to them, hand on her hips, is your mother. And she goes, now I'm telling you right now, if this isn't the best damn meal that I've ever had, we're gonna have to look for a new main chef. And you hear this kind of like pronounced like next to your mother. Stood beside her is a very tall, slender, like wide set of ears, elven individual with bright blonde hair that's been pulled back into a shine slick, and is dressed in a very dapper tailed coat that seems almost fitting of any butler, with bright white gloves. And you hear, Madame, I must assure you, our cook and chef is among the greatest chefs in the area. You tasked me with finding true perfection in the kitchen, and of which you will find no better than this man. Truthfully, I've tasted no better dining in all of my time here. And you see your mother, still hands on her hips, still very like, about it. And she goes, well, I don't know. I'm not really versed in all this northern eastern type cooking. I don't know if he knows anything about beans and chili and any of that. He goes, I can assure you, ma'am, it'll be perfect. Goes, all right. Well, I'm trusting you. And you see them both kind of turn and look.
Well, excuse me. Good evening.
You hear, oh, my baby. And she runs up and like immediately hikes up this beautiful, like bright yellow summer dress and like rushes over to you. You hear click, 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 as she actually is wearing like higher heels, like country style heels. She instantly goes and just like drapes herself over you. She goes, oh, look at you. And she grabs the sides of your face and starts kissing your forehead and kind of like tilting you a little bit and looking. And there's like this moment where she's like looking over the rest of the group, two of which are in full plated armor. And she's like tapping you down. She goes, oh, good. You're not hurt. You're not missing nothing. You got all your fingers. And she pulls your hands up. She goes, you got all your fingers still? Oh, darling, I'm so happy to see you. Oh, my beautiful little JJ.
It sure is busy in this kitchen.
Oh, it sure is.
This whole house.
Oh, it sure is. We got a number of people here visiting. Your father is trying to expand out the business. It's been quite the ordeal. But look, I don't want to ruin anything here by surprises. But look at this. Look what I got. And she goes and like tucks her arm underneath like your arm, like elbow and elbow, and turns you outwardly to the kitchen. And she goes, I got this beautiful kitchen installed and this whole brand new house we just made. And I have, and she points to this blonde, kind of like streaked backed haired elf, and she goes, I have an elven butler. Can you believe that? I have an elven butler. He does whatever I tell him to do.
That is very interesting, Ma. Did this all happen because of the folks up north?
Oh, folks up north at first, yeah, no, they came through and, oh goodness, they probably put in 5, 10, 20 orders at least. And times were good the first couple of weeks. Lord Busrun had made a number of sizable orders, but it wasn't until last month. Now, last month was incredible. We received an order from this, I guess it's some type of community or service. I'm not quite sure about it. But it's this individual, Montserrat, and they put in this massive order, and I mean truly massive, and they sent over a number of nice, kind folks that were more than happy to help till the soil, expand out, and make some purchases for your father so we can meet demand. And then you will never believe this, my darling JJ. The Prince of Ravon, the soon-to-be King of Silverhearth, what did he order? 700,000 barrels over the next 10 years. All prepaid.
Well, that sure is quite a miracle, huh?
It's like nothing, and we were so shocked. We know that you took a couple of jars of shine with you, and you done said you were going to talk to some interesting people. We never thought nothing of a nobility and these businessman types, and goodness, it was more than we could bear for a while. But once the money was given in, we started buying more things and expanding out and buying other folks' farms and hiring them on to meet demand. And ever since then, it's just been a kind of rolling dervish, if you will, about everything that we done have here. Your father put a call out, and well, some folks showed up even without a call to family that we could trust to entrust bits of the business to. It's just become so much at this point. I mean, your father, he hasn't slept in a couple of days now.
Folks y'all could trust? Are you sure about that? Because y'all told me never to trust Uncle Theo, and Uncle Theo is here.
Well, Uncle Theo has had his problems and his issues in the past, but your father has deemed it that, at the very least, the blood is a bit thicker than water in this situation, if you know what I mean. And with the amount of, well, and she looks around and she like leans in and whispers, she's like, with the amount of money that's coming in, a small section, what little he handles, it's almost, pardon my dwarven, it's almost unfuck-upable, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think you're okay to use that kind of language around these folks. I don't think they mind.
I don't want them to think less of me,
Oh, we've met some interesting folks. I don't
Okay.
think they'll think less of you.
Okay.
But I understand if you want to keep it up around,
Oh, sure. No,
everyone else for whatever reason.
Gotta acclimate to it a bit. It's been a real busy couple of weeks, to say the least. Yeah.
Yeah, should I go check on Paul?
Oh, you certainly can. He's got a visitor right now, Mr. McMalley, who came from the north, and has been talking your father's ear off about this new venture, with his enterprises. Something about I'm not quite sure, like prepared meals or something like that. I'm not quite invested in the conversation, but he's looking for all manner of stuff and wants to take our shine and our various flavors and offer them throughout most of the north. And it seems like a good endeavor, to say the least, but it would require us purchasing land up in the north, and taxes alone are rough.
Are they? Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, dwarven government's been going through. They've been going through the churner, to say the least.
Oh, I've heard some things here or there, perhaps.
Oh yeah.
What's like the situation is like?
Oh well, their king died not too long ago, and there was a lot of civil unrest between, I believe, the burrowing types and the mountainous types, and there was a lot of conflict there, and Apparently, there were all kinds of manner of devilry at work for quite a time, but it seems as if everything's stable and out now. Unfortunately, they had a young prince who's gone missing quite abruptly, and it's just been all kinds of hearsay. I much prefer the broadcasts that talk about you all.
Oh, well, I'm glad they've been positive this far. All right. I think I've got a couple folks on the way. I invited my friend Fiona. I had in the fray of things, I had promised her that I would meet her for coffee tomorrow to catch up because she's a weaver too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got my times mixed up because today, getting ready.
Sure.
I also invited her to dinner.
Okay. Well, yeah.
But she's very pleasant. She's another weaver as well. But yeah, just wanted to let you know that there's another seat.
Sure. Okay. Well, yeah, we can definitely do that. That'd be no problem at all. And she looks to the side and she goes, Isker, could you prepare another place at the table for Fiona? And you see this elven individual kind of look over and goes, oh, but of course, I would be so happy to do that for everyone here. Just one more place, is that all we might need? And good to finally meet you. And he kind of strides up, chest out, like arms back, and presents like a gentle curtsy before extending out his hand and goes, pleasure to finally meet you, Miss JJ Lightning.
JJ will shake his hand. Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Isker.
It's Iskariot.
Iskariot. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know.
Yes. You can call me Isker or anything you so please. I am at the service and behest and request of your mother, primarily, but your father does front the bills, so please, whatever you deem necessary to call me, please feel free to.
Oh, okay. Of course, only respect. I appreciate whatever you help her with, so
Thank
you.
Yes, and thank you as well. I'll make a place for your friend.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, Ma, I'm gonna go check on Pa. And I'll be back over in a few to help you out or anything. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. Oh, before I forget, and she turns and looks and like deadlocks on Orville, and she goes, I'm not sure where the tall, slow fella went, or if he's joining us tonight, but I just want to say to you, thank you so much for keeping my baby safe on the road.
Oh, of course, ma'am. I gave you my word.
I respect a man of his word. This family owes you a great deal of gratitude, young man, and certainly if there's anything that we can help you with, you just let us know and we'll get you taken care of and squared away, okay?
Oh, of course, ma'am.
All right. And have you been keeping your hands to yourself like we talked about?
Lest somebody need punching, yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's a good boy right there. All right, you run along then.
All right, then.
And she like looks over the rest of the folks, and you all head back over. You all head over. It takes a little bit of pointing. You see a number of like small like wait staff that are honestly just a number of people that used to live in this community that are now dressed up and like kind of working as both farm hands and like small bits of like just polishing staff. Like they're like the maids and butlers, but they're country folk. And so you have a few people that you recognize, and you just see like larger kind of like farm folk kind of pointing and go, oh, welcome home, Ms. JJ. You're looking for your father? You just up the road. They welcome you, but these are all like your friends and neighbors you grew up with that are now all working for your family, and they're like the inside of the house type folks that are all kind of like, yeah, polish that candlestick. Probably gonna till some land tomorrow, no problem. But they seem to have been like called in specifically for tonight, so there'd be people on hand to help folks out. You eventually kind of reach the far end of the manor, and you ascend up a like curved flight of stairs up to like a small kind of atticus area, and you do see like front office on the door, and you're kind of like you can hear two voices going back and forth from it.
She will give a knock.
You hear a big heavy doom doom doom. You hear this kind of grumbling, and you kind of hear calling out, and you hear, yes, now who is it?
It's me, Paul.
Oh, and you hear, oh, just a second, and goes through, and you hear, duk, 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 and you hear like a chain move out of the door, a bolt kind of come loose of it, and you hear, goes, well, now isn't that my darling daughter right there? And you see, your father is in like a beautiful, like almost like a plantation jacketed shirt, like an undershirt, with a bright kind of bouffant tie that's been kind of made and fit. Almost looks like every type of like Texas oil baron you've probably ever seen at this point. Hair is like well pulled back into kind of like a small, soft kind of curl. And his horns have been polished and waxed recently. His ears are like well trimmed, and there's not really a hair out of place. The only thing he kind of has is this kind of like almost perpetual 5 o'clock shadow that's been grown across. He hasn't had time in the recent days to really look for it. And he kind of smells of like this kind of potpourri. As you look, he's got a number of flowers stuffed in the front of his shirt. He goes, "It is so very good to see you, my daughter."
It's good to see you too. Should I just let you know when dinner's ready, or are you a little too busy?
Oh, they're gonna send someone for me whenever dinner's ready. I'm just finishing up a number of things here with Mr. McNally, and he points over, and you look, and you see this like grizzled-looking dwarven individual, hair kind of poofed up into a mohawk. I think I have it. Oh, he's upside down. Hold on, we're gonna transform. Foop, and we're gonna flip horizontal. Nope, we're gonna flip vertically. That's how that works. Oop, and then we're gonna flip him horizontally. Foop, there we go. So you see this like proud dwarven individual sitting, feet up on like a stool on the other side of your father's desk. He looks over and goes, "Oh," and sits up and kind of like slowly walks over. You hear like the jingling of like his jacket, this long kind of traveling coat. His beard is well kempt, but still that dwarven disheveledness, that kind of like wild and free look. And he walks over and he goes, "Well now, 'tis a pleasure to be meeting you." And reaches out a big hand to you. He goes, "Logan McNally."
JJ will shake his hand. It's a pleasure, Mr. McNally.
Oh, pleasure's all mine, darling. Seems to me that your father has been talking a great deal of change about you, saying it's the most beautiful lass in all the land, and I wasn't sure whether to believe it or see it for myself, and truly I wish I had a jeweler's loop upon mine eye. I'd tell you I'd find no better diamond here in the middle of nowhere.
I appreciate the flattery. That is very, very kind.
Nothing but the best. Certainly I do, of course, openly state your reputation does this a great service to you. Number of us have, of course, heard the winds and the words that they do speak and whisper to each of us in the mornings, but truthfully, there's a something to a reputation said by a busfriend. That Lord bless him to hell and back, all 9 of them. Truly a wonderful individual. Speaks so highly of you all.
Well, I hope Lord Busrin and his folk are doing all right up there.
Oh, they're doing all right, to say the least. Number of windfalls have certainly befell them, and found a number of enterprise and opportunities for them. Things now they've built upon that we're seeking a amicable arrangement of sorts between your father and my associations. Business talk, all that nonsense, far below and beneath the notice of an honored weaver's chosen such as yourself. Begging your pardon, I do believe now it is the Seekers of Gulanti.
Yes, sir, we are the Seekers.
True.
Well, it seems that y'all are busy. I just wanted to let my father know that I was home and whatnot. I don't mean to intrude.
You see your father kind of look over and goes, "No, not any intrusion. Truly. We'll be down just a couple more minutes here. my darling daughter. We're just hashing out the last little bit of this this negotiation we've been having. You know what? I actually want to turn to you. You and your friends are awfully smart. So I want to weigh your opinion here real quick, if you don't mind it.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could just gonna bend your ears real quick, folks. Just real quick. I'm so sorry about this. He goes to his desk and he brings back out this like heavy bundle of documents. Because this here is a contract to co-open an enterprise in a group of inns across the land, a number of formidable places, veritable hotbeds of opportunity and industry. I don't know heads nor tails of industry on that point. I've always been a moonshiner, as you know. But I just, this contract here would entitle us to 50% of each of this kind of opportunities, and it would also make us the premier distributor of moonshine to each of these locations. We're thinking about opening a number of these taverns known as McNally's, and we're just curious. You think that'd be a good deal for us, JJ? We got all this capital now. I mean, we'd be putting down about a $500,000 in gold to be part of it. But in the next year, we'd have the Lightning name known through all land for all their beverages, and then McNally's be known for all their food and innkeeping.
Gotcha. Mr. McNally,
Yes.
I haven't spent much time up north. Do you already run inns and establishments or anything?
Oh yeah, there's a fine number of establishments that we've been having all throughout the northern passes. What I'm seeking here is I need a man who knows how to run things as a tight ship as your father does. He of course is a wealthy individual, able to open up and fund a venture further southward. We were actually thinking about opening up a number of businesses out of Valtora, far deep south. And then there were a number of folks we were talking to more to the east that were also interested as well, throughout the Aurelian continent. And there's a number of people that don't have quite the access. Getting a little too southern with Dwarf. Get quite the access to northern hospitality, say the least.
Okay, so like up north, Valtora, and down in like the kind of elven reaches and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay.
All said and done, lass, we'd be looking at a wee bit of over under, say, 8 to 10 locations to start. We'd shoot for 8, but if we can get the property rights, I know specifically there's an inn right in the heart of Ravon that is prime real estate for taking over. It has no bearings on all that, a full staff already available for it. That'd be prime to rebrand as the first McNally's within Ravon.
So, I'm gonna say I've been to the inn in Ravon. It's an odd place, and I don't think that the staff. Have you been to that inn before? If I could ask, have you been to that inn?
I've not been myself, truth be told, but my nephew went and said that the staff was rather colourful, and they would make great employees for children's birthday parties.
That's about all that they would be good for. I don't think they'd be great at like serving.
Well, the thing of it is
normal folk.
Their inn is a profitable venture. We could get it for a steal at about 18,000 gold pieces, and each member of the staff has promised to stay on during the transitional period, as I was telling your father. And not only would it be at the heart of Ravon, but as well, we'd have the rights to their images. Each of the staff there already makes a colorful cast and crew of individuals that we could then brand and then work out to, as we work for a nationwide rebrand, we'd be able to use their likenesses to promote our businesses. There's a number of friendly faces that'll find a dwarven beard comforting, and of course, shifters and the like.
albeit a bit monstrous, my good sir. We're not always the most friendly folk to be the face of a business internationally. But when you find folks like this, and he points down to Kobold Jones, and give us a smile there, friend.
Do I know anything about McNally's?
Oh, yeah, go right ahead. Go ahead and roll me a history.
Can I use my superiority die for that?
Yes, you can, actually.
That's I'm not trained in it, but
Mhm.
that's a 17.
A 17 doesn't matter. You are trained for northern information. I'll give you that. Yeah, you actually have heard of McNally before. This is a dwarven individual and a family that has opened up a number of very unprofitable inns within the Northern Pass. They tend to want to open up pure dwarven cuisine to like human settlements that are in the north that are kind of under the banner of Iskander. They have for a time always tried to be a bit serious, but you remember they were doing a whole kind of like exploration into lands unknown, and they hit it rich outside of Thule, which is like a more like it's still in the north, but it's like a northern city. And they actually opened up a branch within that city that has been like wholly profitable and completely kind of like rebuilt what the name was. You know them primarily. They are now credited with kind of bringing fast served food and quick food to a number of people, and a lot of grease, a lot of slop, gravy's always on the menu. Again, it's like it's what it's kind of like what travelers would assume dwarven cuisine to be without it actually being dwarven cuisine. But yeah, many of the dwarven individuals have always called the McNallys crazy and weird folk for always wanting to venture outside the north.
I'm not going to smile at him.
Goes, right then, don't worry then. Apologies if I've offended you there, boy.
I think my hang up is with the inn at Ravon.
Well,
Well,
it doesn't have to be the end of
they're
the
great.
run.
Well, they're great folk, but they're not quite like. They're very hospitable and kind, but I don't think they appeal to a wide audience.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like an acquired taste.
We had another offer. I mean, you see your father kind of like recoil back and kind of like pull the contract a bit closer to him, really taking your words to heart. And before that, you kind of have Logan kind of interrupt and go, okay, well, hold on a second. Now we talked about this. In the event that this was true, that we wouldn't find these colorful folk to be much to people's liking. We also have the offer from the village over to the east. There's a place, maybe you've heard of it, Tiber Village. It's some type of logging industry. Again, another group of individuals that want to pay to have a location put there just because the Lightning name. They're offering a sum of 30,000 crowns.
Okay. Very interesting. Also, pleasant folk. All fairies. Again, are you also trying to break into Ravon?
Oh, we're going global. The whole kit and caboodle. We're gonna start again 8 to 10 locations. Open it up. Go there, set it up, send people to teach how to cook, how to run it, leave a member of our families, both the Lightning and of course the McNally, and we'll teach the staff how to work, the proper way to run the inn, and then we'll franchise it out in say 20 to 50 years. Be the premier inn in every major city.
Well, I'm just because when you first pitched this idea and I was standing here, you were saying north in Valtora, and then you didn't say anything about Ravon.
Well, it's a given
until after.
It's a bit of a given.
I mean,
you're famous there, of course.
I guess, but I'm not a big business person. I'm more of a adventuring type.
Right.
I feel like, I mean, Pa, this is up to you.
Truth be told, I'm asking your opinion here, daughter of mine. I'm at a bit of the end of my rope a bit. There's just been so much windfall lately, coming into fortunes with us that it seems like a great opportunity to get on the ground level. And I'm just trying to beseech you and your friends, since you all are, well, what you are. You know what I mean? I mean, not for nothing, but look at the size of this lass. And he points to Celeste and is like, she's got to be head or hair, what, 6-7 foot is you? Wearing plate mail of all things, right in my home. I mean, that's a tough son of a bitch right there.
Thank you.
You are quite welcome, and please, this is a loving home. If you need anything, you just take it, okay? You don't even worry about asking. I don't want to offend you in any way, shape, or form, man.
So, he truly means that in the kindest way, Miss Celeste. So, I feel like for like an inn kind of like of this kind, perhaps, of like the gist that I'm getting, like the people of Silverhearth and Ravon are all like very fancy, kind of uppity, not like have a good like time kind of folks. Because what I'm getting is like y'all want to like make this a fun environment where like you'll be known for something, you know?
Oh yeah.
I feel like Valtora, it sounds very weird that might be a great place to start. I don't know if y'all have heard of the new card game that's like super big out there.
Card game. I'm not a card player myself. Your father looks around and goes, no, some of the younger farmhands they've talked about it, you know.
Yeah, so it's called Collected Conquest, right? And like that game kind of comes out of that region.
Okay.
And they've got like a whole like headquarters down there, and like as the game's kind of like grown, what I kind of like envisioned, because I was like an early adopter of it when we were on our travels.
Sure.
Those folks are always looking for like a good quick meal and a place to play. Because in the city in Deerwood, you can only be a weaver, and you can only play in like one district. So like if there were more places to play and like places to eat and play and like have a good time and maybe like hold tournaments,
tournaments, we could be the destination for it, huh?
You could make like a whole destination situation.
So
and kind of make it into like a play space with like a little bit of like food attached. I know this kind of throws your whole like situation kind of topsy-turvy maybe, but you know, instead of folks playing like gambling games, maybe they're playing Collected Conquest or something like that. Yeah.
All right. So do you happen to know where these individuals they live? Do you know what city in Valtora they're from? Perhaps you could steer us in the right direction there, lass.
One moment, could I roll history on the city or something?
Yeah, sure, that's fine. If you
it's deep in my notes.
If you're gonna tell them the right city, it's Bone Wharf.
Yes, it is Bone Wharf is the city, I think.
Oh, right out of Agony Bay. I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I first met some fellas, and then I picked up cards, I think, in Wren's. So
Wren's Fork. All right, well, fair enough. Well, I think this is an enterprising opportunity. If we can get on board, we could do a 3-way split. You, me, the folks with this there card game that the kids are all into, and maybe we make that our new venture. He goes, "What do you say, partner?" He reaches his hand out, and your father kind of looks to you. He goes, "You think people would want to play this game?" Sorry, that's too proper. You think people would want to play this game?
You know, it's actually quite fun.
Right.
It's a strange game, but you know what? I think it could be quite something. So.
All right then, if you're sure. He turns and looks to he turns to look to Logan. He goes, "Partners." He reaches and like does a big shake with the pair of them. You kind of see them both look at each other and go, "We'll sign paperwork in a bit. But first, dinner, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go down and have us a dinner. Why don't we'll go get freshened up for a second, though. So, yeah, you and all your friends, if you guys want to just hang around down below, you can get yourselves all cleaned up. Maybe we call it, 5 minutes or so. Busy yourselves about that. And then we'll all meet for dinner right after that, and we'll go from there. And for everyone still watching, we'll see you guys in 5 minutes after break. See you in a bit. Peace. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Second Wake. Kareem Zamir, Seekers of Galanti, you, level 20 characters. What's good with everyone? When we last left for the break, the group had, of course, sought a number of interesting things. Speaking, of course, about JJ Lightning's family over for dinner, from what I can hear, what I can see, and certainly the feeling is love, romance, delightful, tender feelings between familial bonds. Let's see how it continues out. When we went for the break, JJ's father was making a lifetime sort of deal with a dwarven individual from the north, and they now seek the good stuff. Business opportunities with those who are wealthy and those who can supply said wealth. The group has now descended into cleaning themselves up for dinner, and the dinner bell boom, 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 has rung, and you all are called back to a very large and lavish dining hall. There are a number of chairs laid out. You all are provided seating together on one side of the table, to your father's right-hand side. Your mother sits to the catty corner left of him, and JJ, you are like right at the front of the table with your father. Your siblings kind of sit to the left of your mother. And then everything else fills in. Your grandfather is on the far end of the table as it's being prepared. You look across, and there are a number of folks for the wait staff that are kind of like more like of the half-elven and city variety. Many of them seem to be kind of like hired and wait staff for the evening. And they all begin to prepare a number of things as you sit down. Many of them pull out large kind of like silk towels and kind of like set them in front of each of you. They place plates in turn, and they all go around and they set down these small porcelain looking stands, each one bearing a large kind of like what appears to be kind of like a hard-boiled egg and a spoon sat down in front of every member of this dinner. And your father kind of stands up and takes his glass and dings it a few times. You hear the ding, 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 ding. You hear, well, my friends, family, everyone here who could be here for us today, it is a truly momentous and monumental thing that you all could make it out. I've always believed that no matter where in the world you might be, family is the ties that binds us. I believe, of course, with the recent success and ventures that my dear daughter, JJ, and her friends, the Seekers of Gulani, have certainly done, is remarkable work. And I think we've all heard those whispers on the wind and those great stories. You hear a few people at the end of the table go, "Yeah," like that. He goes, "Yeah, that's good." As you all know, we've come into quite a handsome business and grown the small bit of teaching that Pa has imparted onto me into a truly thriving business. And now I'm proud to announce that we'll be entering into an arrangement as a partnership with Mr. Logan McNally there. And kind of points out, you see this dwarven individual raise this tight glass of what appears to be wine, and people are going around pouring glasses of wine for everyone as your father speaks. He goes, "Truly, we could not have done it without the support and love of our community. The honest to goodness love and support of my daughter and her enterprising belief that our small moonshine operation could be loved and worshipped as a fine purveyor of spirit to the dwarven nobility within Iskander. and of course within a number of other places throughout all of Ravon, that is now held in such high regard. You've truly, I mean, I know I know when you left home and you told me and your mother, JJ, that you were going to change the world and that you were going to go out and make something yourself and really alter how things were. And we had ourselves a big goof and laugh, and I always thought you were brightest bulb on the tree, if it were. But to see it in fruition, it gives a lot of us hope that any of us can rise up, become something better than what we are, and we can become people that we would like to be, rather than the people that we are stuck trying to be. Cheers. And he kind of like raises up a glass, and everyone kind of has like a small glass of wine. They all cheers. He drinks it back. He goes, well, that's about all we got there for talking. I'm not much one for speeches. Never really been there for that. Let's have ourselves a good evening, folks. We have a premier chef, I think, in the kitchen, right? And your mother goes, yeah, he comes very highly recommended. He goes, well, tremendous then. So everything you're gonna have tonight, no expense has been spared. Some of the best stuff that we can rustle up here. Let's hope to make lightning strike twice, right? And laughs and points at Logan. He goes, it's a good one, yeah. I think that he goes, right, lightning strikes twice. That's a slogan or whatever. Sure. Yeah, okay.
That's a good one. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one, I guess. Not really ever been a one for words. Anyway, praise of the Weavers, of course. Thank you, blessed them for this meal. Blessed be my daughter, soon to be, better than all those old Weavers. So maybe we should just start ending every meal thanking JJ for this bountiful harvest. I don't know how that works, truthfully, but I mean, miracles are happening, so it's all kinds of magic at this point. I'm just, and you see your mother like now pulling on like his shirt. He's like, sit the fuck down. He goes, right, let's eat. Let's do that thing. And he sits down and goes, sorry about that. And she goes, no, it's fine. And you see like a few of the dinner guests like are all like, they're rolling up their sleeves. Many of them have taken off their jackets. There's sweat stains on many of them because they're not used to wearing jackets and like fanciful clothing. They're all just hardworking shifters for the most part. And many of them are like looking curiously at this large kind of egg sitting on a porcelain pedestal and these like spoons, and they're like tapping like the sides of the egg, and they're just like, how do you open it? Like they're just like baffled, and you see this like this blonde elven butler kind of pop into frame. Goes, ladies and gentlemen, of course I do apologize for the confusion that seems to be prevalent in such a opening meal, but truthfully, it is much simpler than it might appear. All you need do is take your spoon, tap it thrice on the top, crack the opening, and you may eat and scoop out the delightful filling that has been embedded within these beautiful ostrich eggs. They are flown in fresh from the south. Some of the finest preparated meals you'll have this evening. And they go, oh. And you see all of them like tap, 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 and they crack the top of it. And they lightly pull like the eggshells out. Goes, you can eat the shell. And they go, oh, okay, well, sure. And they're all like pinkies out, and like some of them are trying to be fancy, but like they've never really had like fine food before. Your mother like is like like doing the first time trying to be kind of like a duchess sort of thing, and just everything is like a very big reaction because, well, that's not how I would cook it, but like look, that's what money tastes like kind of thing. So yeah, you guys are all left to your meals.
Kobold will eat the egg just whole.
You just wolf the egg, and you feel the crunching sound as you swallow it. Actually, no, there wouldn't be a crunching sound. You're a kobold. You have no gag reflex. Yeah, you swallow the egg like you're a snake. Yeah, hell yeah. Fucking lizard people. Yeah, why not?
Jonesy, would you like the egg? I'm a little startled.
You
to eat it.
You offer your egg to Jonesy, and as you're having this conversation, your mother goes, JJ, what are you doing? I paid good money for these fancy eggs or whatever. I mean, you want
He
to try
will-
one?
Ma, I don't think I can try. I have to explain something if there's a problem. Last time I ate an egg, it was not good.
Hmm. Well, I assure you. I mean, and she turns and looks and she goes, Iska, this has been cooked the right way or whatever, right? And he goes, this has been prepared impeccably, my dear. There's no finer egg that you will be able to ingest within this area, we'll say. I don't want to naysay other areas, but truthfully, the finest hors d'oeuvres that they can find within Deerwood for the noble families are wagon stops compared to this. This is some of the best food. Well,
you have
there you
any
go.
more?
Well,
Miss Mama Lightning, if I may.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
So something your daughter encountered on the road kind of happened to give her a bit of a food allergy.
Exactly.
A food
yeah, I didn't
allergy.
mention it.
You're after all these years, you're allergic to eggs.
I could just be really honest. When
Honesty's the best policy, baby.
we came back from the Feywild,
Immediately, everyone like you hear like clattering of like silverware, and as you're talking about like this crazy adventure they've heard Celeste kill a bunny on, they all like every head on the table in your direction.
when we came back, sometimes like planar travel does some funky stuff to you. If I eat an egg, it's like a forced shift.
Forced
But
shift.
it's like kind of looking more so like our deep back ancestors forced shift.
They, as you say this, they all kind of turn and look at Grandpa. He goes, "Well, I knew she had it in her. Hell yeah, brothers! Woo! Bringing back the pure line of the lightning shifters. I bet you can throw a yak 100 yards."
I didn't really try. It was a little embarrassing because I wasn't
Oh,
expecting
nothing to
it.
be embarrassed, but back in my day, I used to be a big, scary son bitch. I used to threaten orcs and be like, "You little shit stain, I'll fucking eat you."
I heard this part of the story.
Yeah,
That's when he beat 3 wargs.
Yeah, you've heard all of Grandpa's old war stories that are just him being like, "I'm gonna make moonshine," and like people come in and be like, "We don't take kindly to shiners here," and then he pretty much like we'll just say for moments of clarity, every one of Reggie's old stories are just episodes of Popeye the Sailor Man, only a very rotund rabbit folk beating the shit out of people who probably didn't deserve it. That's Grandpa.
Well, I just thought maybe like that would be rude at the dinner table. So
Oh, he too good for a fucking fight story? Hey, no, just give it to him. Why did you beat the shit out of who was it? Who's a poor sack of shit you done hit?
like
Everyone now is like elbows on the table, like all the like nerves of trying to be proper are gone. You do look as well, and you see your two rat folk friends. Templeton is like full on like teeth on the side of this thing, like chewing, and like there's egg yolk all over him and all over Charles. Charles is actually like partway into his egg.
great. This is going so well. I don't remember a whole lot. It was very startling, and it just kind of happened. I don't think we were around anyone to punch or get down in the front yard with, so to say. Unfortunately, but
I mean, we could find someone to punch tonight if you want to just beat the shit out of there. We own, well, your father, and you see your dad kind of straighten up, like, yep, I do. I own things. And he goes, your father, he done opened up that there barnyard over on the side of the property, and that's like a local night spot. A bunch of people from the city come in. We probably go over there after dinner. Whew, get you all all lightened up, powered up, as they like to say, and bring down the hammer of lightning on them. I used to use my elbow for it to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, you know, we might have to do that, Pawpaw.
Yeah, I like that. You see a couple of people like, Papa's into it. Yeah, we'll watch it.
She's just gonna give an eye at her mom, like, please don't make me eat this in front of everybody. I don't want to ruin your nice dinner table.
She goes, Iska, maybe, well, perhaps we can have, maybe we could have, maybe like a nice salad, like a salad. He goes, oh yes, of course.
I can take it to go, you know?
No, there's no need to. I'll have it prepared right away. And he runs into the back of the kitchen, and you hear shouting in Elven, and then like within like a couple of minutes, he comes out with like a bright, like a freshly chopped salad with like coarse tomatoes and like everything's been nicely cut and arrayed, and he kind of like sets it in front of you, and he pulls out a small kind of like saucer, like a gravy bowl, that's full of like dressing. He goes, there we are. Look at that. Tomatoes fresh off the vine, lettuce, everything you might need there.
Absolutely beautiful, thank you.
This is a damn good salad.
It is a beautiful salad,
Yes.
thank you. And she will eat that instead.
Yeah, you crunch down on it. Yeah, throughout the time, dinner is what it is. Time begins to pass. You guys get through your opening entrees, and then you hear kind of like a big kind of like doom 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 knock on the door. And here, can someone grab that?
Yeah, I'll go get it. JJ's gonna rush up and go get it herself.
And like you see your father like you like rush up and like start running off. He's like, oh, that's JJ. That's what we have. Isker. Damn it. Shit.
She's expecting someone. She wants to greet them.
Oh, right. Okay. You hear this like doom 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 kind of knock again. You go to the front door.
Yep.
Yeah. You open the door, and you look over and you can see there's this tall, about 6'2" individual with kind of like a long faded kind of purple hued skin, with these two kind of like twisted looking knot-holed horns, and they kind of like stare down with these coal fire red eyes, and you hear,
Begging your pardon, Mr. Lightning in.
Who's asking?
A friend.
No, that doesn't work. Who's asking?
A friend. Now
Well, a friend of my pa's is a friend of mine.
Your pa. Oh. A trifle of apologies. I didn't realize I was speaking to the great and mighty JJ Lightning.
and he reaches up and kind of combs over a bit of like this like black sleek hair to the side, and then slowly kind of like brings a hand over the front of his chest and goes,
If you might fetch your father, I would greatly appreciate it.
Could I have a name, dear sir?
Oh, of course, darling. My name is Corval, and your father will know why I've come to visit.
Alrighty. Alright. JJ will shut the door and lock it behind her.
Yeah, you shut it like right in his face and lock it. Near.
And she will scurry on over to her father and whisper in his ear who it is.
All right. Your father, you're trained in insight. Your father immediately kind of like stiffens up and goes, "Oh, well, folks, I'm so sorry. I have to be excused. I just got a bit of business to catch up on. There's a man here to see me, of course. Always being busy for the Lightning family. Thank you for the message, JJ. I'll see to it myself." And he goes and gets up, and you see your mother has like this curious glance on her eyes, and she kind of like watches him. And he's like, "It'll be fine," and he just kind of like waves her off as like the main course is like coming in, and you guys see it's like this like very intricate and like almost ornately designed bit of like soup that is poured for everyone, but each one of the bowls has these kind of like strange looking pieces of like bread that have been curved and coiled to make it look like there's kind of like this overgrown moss into the soup, and the soup itself has like kind of like fitterings and chunks of meat that are kind of like floating through, but the actual soup itself and broth kind of glitter and glisten, almost like an ale might, or like a bright shining kind of example of a like a still creek in a way.
Is Fee there?
You look over, she's not arrived yet. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
JJ will
Sure. So you start eating. Your father escapes to the study, and you hear like the front door back open. You hear it's like time passes, and there's just kind of like very much this kind of like meal being eaten, people talking. A number of people ask about your journeys, your trials and tribulations. Many folks talk about like how great the Seekers are, how everyone knows about you guys, and like you're truly doing the best things in the world. And you again hear the door kind of open, and you hear like the sounds of ruddy boots kind of muscle in. And you hear this kind of like voice call out, and you hear, oh, sorry, Miss JJ. And you see
And JJ will hurry on over to Cletus.
Yeah, you see Cletus kind of look at you and goes, there's I don't want to let him in. He's a dirty fellas. There's a lass here to see you. I think her name is Fido. Yeah. But she's tailed by these two folks that are just, well, shit and vinegar didn't miss them.
Okay, let me go see. All right.
Sure.
And JJ will go open the door for Fiona.
Yeah, you open it, and Fiona is like staring at you, and she's like, what the fuck? And you see this tall kind of barbarian woman with the bright blue face tattoos, her hair shaved and parted on one side, and she has like a fur jacket over her that's like bright, beautiful, like wolf's fur, and then like a kind of like a dinner dress. To either side of her, you look over and you see Bartholomew with a floating, glowing sword, who is slick wet with blood and smells of like rotting sewage, and is just coated down to his bones and skivvies and is like dripping wet. And beside Bartholomew, you look over and you see this small mechanical bear with like the entire top left of it broken and missing, and there's a tuft of heavy looking black and red fur sticking out from the spots where the metal is missing. The bear, however, is in what looks to be a tux at first, but it's actually just been painted on the front in like really shitty like handmade paints. And you hear like it crackle on, and you hear, "Hey, we made it."
So proud of y'all. It's just
Thanks.
main course. Bartholomew, you want me to go hose you down in the yard, maybe?
I think that there is poo in somewhere, because I can still smell it, but I'm not sure quite where it's at.
Okay, maybe. All right, so
We fought an ooze. It ate
where?
Vasler. I got out. He's like, no, it swallowed you whole, and it smelled rotten, absolutely disgusting. Well, we made it. It's like, I don't.
Y'all seem to have some really neat adventures.
We do okay. And you hear like the you.
Are you
like cutting out? Fiona looks at you and goes, "Yeah, so these two gentlemen. So you do know them. That's cool. That's great, JJ. So they waved down the carriage I was in and asked if I knew you, and then proceeded to help themselves to my carriage. So
they know them.
Jay, maybe you want to tell me?
So Buddy is one of our buddies that we picked up along the road. He's our diplomat, and kind of he's pretty neat. Pretty swell fella. And Basler, sometimes you make deals and you make friends. So, and you make deals to bring friends back.
Right.
And you make friends that way.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen.
You said dinner's already started?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm
Go
gonna-"
ahead on
and
in.
she
Yeah.
like immediately just like walks by. She's like, "Good to see you." And she like taps you on the shoulder, and then like goes for the door. And you see Cletus kind of be like, "Well, you're a tall person, aren't you?" And she goes, "And you have eyes." And she like walks right into like literally just like muscles past the old man and like walks into the dining hall. You all see as you're sitting there like eating, like not sure quite what's going on while dinner's being prepared. This woman, this like bright blonde, like human barbarian woman with facial blue tattoos and this heavy kind of fur kind of shrouded, and she walks into the room and everyone kind of like stops and stares at her. She goes, "Hey, I'm Jay's friend. I think, you know what? I see a spot right over there. I'm just gonna stop down." And she like kind of like just walks over and like throws her cloak over like the elf who is currently like adhering to the dinner. He's like, "Oh, I'll take your coat." Okay, like then just takes it and like almost falls over, and then like pulls the seat out and just sits down and goes, "Right." And they go, and everyone's staring at her for a moment. And she goes, "Sorry, I had to pick up 2 idiots on the side of the road. You would not believe the day I'm having. This looks amazing." And like starts eating the soup.
Yep. Great. Good to see you, Fee.
Yeah. You
Bartholomew.
look and Buddy's like shaking. He's like, it's really cold out here. Actually, it's I'm putting on a brave face right now, but it is freezing. We had to be here for this. You said, yeah.
Two idiots. Excuse me. I'm gonna go to the door.
You excuse yourself and get up and walk to the door.
JJ is just dumbfounded, kind of just trying to figure out what to do with Bartholomew at this point.
Yeah, Bartholomew looks a complete mess. Vasler, there's like cracks and breaks in the metal of this bear, and like just tufts of big red and black fur are sticking out from like wherever there's a crack. And yeah, like is covered in, literally baked into the machine is blood. And then there's just this nice painted tux that's been like kind of adhered haphazardly to the outside of the bear. Vel, you come like walking out and you just see this like the absolute state of this guy. Buddy probably hasn't bathed in the last 2 days and has been like shoulder to shoulder with Vasler in the sewers hunting down this cult. And he just like looks at you and goes, "Oh, hello, Miss Valithil. What was the thing
Hi,
you told
Bartholomew.
me? Hi. So," and you hear, "Shit happened." Because there was a lot of shit that happened. Yes, indeed. Yep.
I can see a fair bit of it.
Yep.
Can we get you cleaned up?
Sure could. Oh, I had to, Vasla, you said we had to bring... The carriage has stuff for people. Yep.
Oh God. Okay.
I look at
I'll go-
Basler. Is it wrapped?
I put it inside of a carriage. You technically have to open it.
I'll go look at it. Thank you very much.
It's like a gift box.
Yep, it's a whole gift box. Thank you.
Cool.
All right.
Let's go get some food, man.
Like starts like like walking and like stomping bloody tracks out like in the area.
Clean your feet, please.
Prestidigitation on him as he's walking in.
The Vasler's Teddy Tungsten is like immediately cleaned. You look over and you see Bartholomew, and Bartholomew hit through the prestidigitation, and like a first layer of dirt does come off of him, but he's an onion of filth right now.
Oh yeah, we'll spend a little while and go get some water if we need to.
Yeah, he's just like, oh god. He like takes a boot off and like just like sludge comes out of it. He's like, this was disgusting. How do you people do this? And just continues going from there. JJ, you said you're going to check out the carriage.
Yes, she will check out the carriage.
Inside the carriage, you look and there is just you open it and immediately stuff falls out of it. And the carriage driver's like, I apologize, ma'am, but they were rather insistent that you needed all of these things, and I'm not quite sure why. I thought there was a lot more people, but apparently they're not. I don't think they're quite. We won't worry the lady about the details. And it, like kind of just like,
no, it's okay.
yeah. But you look it over and like like what falls out are like pieces of stone and metal that fall out that have all been emblazoned with various sigils and symbols. It looks as if they've taken an entire stone pillar that seems to be like an altar of some kind and rended it from the ground and just tossed it in the back of the carriage. Stacked up on each other on the other bench are 5 bodies of people all dressed similarly with these bright brass masks. And like 2 of them are just missing arms, like flat out. There's this huge cleaving gash that runs from their shoulder down to about the middle of their hip. And you can smell that kind of horrible stench of death, like when someone has had their lower intestine cleaved. And so all the gastric acid has kind of been released into the back of this carriage and now stunk in the back of it. And they're just like corpses laying there.
You know, well, I definitely want the pillar. And she will just start stuffing it into.
Oh, the pillar will not fit in a bag of holding.
Okay, the pillar won't fit. All right,
It's like literally like you could set this thing up and you could probably fit a whole baby on the top of it if you were going to sacrifice a baby.
Okay.
Like it's like a altar of like foul intent, and it's covered in demonic runes.
Okay, she will quickly copy down the runes.
Sure. Yeah.
And sketch the altar.
Sure. You can kind of do like a dry rubbing. It'll probably take you like 10-20 minutes if you want to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I figured it would take that long.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what to do with the bodies. You can go feed them to the hogs, maybe.
I'm gonna do what now? No. I'm not doing. Nope. I know you're Weavers chosen. I know you're the seekers of the Gulanti. I draw the line at capital murder.
Oh, I think they're already dead, so it's not. You're not murdering.
Oh, good. You just feeded some pigs I've never met before. Say hello, Mr. Piggy. Would you like to eat these people? No, ma'am. No, I say. Absolutely
Do you want another
not.
platinum?
Yes, I would.
Okay, will you feed them to the pigs out back then?
I guess I'm doing that then.
Okay, all right, perfect. Here's
Great.
one more platinum for
Thank you.
Just feed them out to the pigs.
My
That's all
kids
right.
will be so thrilled for Winter's Fest. Okay, wonderful. And he grabs the back of one of these dead cultists and starts yanking. He's like, we're going for a trip. God, Weavers, damn it. And like, just blood and schluck just pours out of the back of this carriage.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. The pillar can stay though. All right, thank you. I'll have a good evening. I'll see you in a bit.
A number of expletives come out. You see Cletus start walking from the porch towards this guy and goes, hey, fella, you need some help?
Don't worry about him. He's just gonna go feed the pigs.
Oh,
Okay.
I got that wheelbarrow I done talked about.
Yeah, you can let him know about the wheelbarrow, but you know,
Okay.
just leave him be. Watch the front of the house. No big deal. It'll be fine.
Okay.
All
Like
right,
goes,
thank you, Cletus.
Continues to walk towards the guy. Hey, Phil, I got a wheelbarrow back there. Like, starts going to do that. After about 10 minutes, Bartholomew is like cleaned, but is wearing what attributes to like, if you told someone who's never done a crime before to dress like they're gonna go do crime. He is in a turtleneck all the way up to his chin. He's in long sleeves with black leather gloves. He has black like Spanx of pants that are like these like very tight leather, like you'd have to squeeze to be in them, with a big heavy looking belt. He has over his shoulder a all blacked out backpack that he's kind of been like using for tactical things. And he like looks at you and he's like, you know, I had the most astounding war makeup on when this all started.
Bartholomew,
It would have been great.
this was all willing, right? Like you wanted to do this, right?
Oh, he threatened to break my kneecaps, so I figured not broken kneecaps, help out the little guy. Maybe we could work together. I read a book once about like this unlikely duo who then bonded over their adventures on the road, and I figured like that could be us. And then I had to chop someone in half, and I've never done that before, and it was very exhilarating, I think is the right word for it. And then I threw up and cried for about 10 minutes, Yeah, that was different. I don't know how you all do this.
Bartholomew, would you please just stay with me so you don't get dragged off on these things again?
Sure. I was assured later on that it was for the good of Miss Lightning.
It's for the good of Vasler, I assure you.
Well, I normally would agree with you, Miss Velathil. However, it does appear that this individual we put down low, I believe I boxed him up for you. I don't know if you got that or not. They were supposed to bring it to... Oh,
that
good.
one?
Yes. So he was leading a cult of some demonic type of bad fellow. Seemed really evil. So we kind of just boxed him up and shipped him to you, and figured you'd know better than I how that is. Vasil insisted that it had to be boxed up, or you'd be mad about, you'd be cross with him.
He's learning.
So,
I'm
yes.
actually proud of him. But no, I don't think I do believe that anyone who you faced likely was involved in some horrible cult. I don't.
Oh yes.
Unless you want to be dragged off on these things, that's not your responsibility.
Well, I was threatened, and then I wasn't so much dragged. I walked. But I think I did a stand-up job, and I even got a good game buddy from the little guy. So, I will have a bruise on my ass from where he slapped me, but I think that means that we're like friends now or something. That's
he
cool.
will still threaten to break your knees the second you don't go along with something.
It's probably fair now that you say it out loud. I thought in my head maybe that would be different, but no, that's good. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So dinner. That sounds great.
Dinner.
Yeah, great. Lovely place. JJ, is this your home?
This is my parents' new home.
Wow, this is a nice place. This is dwarven architecture. I love this. Look at the molding. That's delightful.
Yeah. A lot of my family is here.
Oh,
surprisingly.
Good. Oh, great.
So, also, poor Fee. All right, I'm gonna go talk to Fee. Bye.
Bye. I'll be right in. Looks to you, Valthon, and goes, do we want to go in with her? Or?
Yes, we can go in.
Good.
I was worried, but you're okay, so it's fine. It's fine.
Yes,
Just go eat.
I learned a number of things, gave them what for, and did some of that heroing you all are always talking about, so it's super fun. Other than the guy who punched me really hard in the face. Anyway, and moves like they
got stabbed.
Oh, right.
I heard
in the
you
gut.
got stabbed.
Oh yes, I have a really cool scar now, and goes and lifts the front of his shirt up, and there's right under one of his ribs, there's this horrible gashing black wound. I don't think it's infected yet, so it's been tended to, but there's a lot of poop that got in it, I think, or some sludge. I'm not sure what that was called. And then I had to go pull Vasla out of this ooze thing, and everything burned for a while. But I think it cauterized very well. Just looking down and keeps walking.
We'll have JJ try and do a little bit of restoration, just in case.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Let's get you a good meal.
you all walk into this house, and you see Fiona at this point as the main course for soup passes. The next course here is this actual kind of pork loin that's been prepared and drizzled with just a little bit of chocolate that kind of runs through it, and a number of small sprouts and cauliflower that kind of runs to accompany it. Fiona is full on, no utensils, pulling with her teeth. She's nice to meet you people. I heard good things like that. And, a lot of them are just who the hell did JJ invite to dinner?
This is my friend Fee. Yeah, she works for the grandmas. So
sure do. Nice to meet all you folks. JJ, do you have more of these rolls? And points to the bread that she's emptied in front of her. The rest of the group or rest of you guys are all provided this delightful meal, bread, drink. Is there anything you guys want to do in particular during dinner?
When Vel gets back to the table, she does not have a pork loin.
Okay, it's just missing.
And there are 2 bones on Kobold's. Actually, no, there are no bones on Kobold's plate.
Because he eats the bones.
Miss Vel, I'll split with
the
you.
perfect crime.
Velathil, you come back to the table. You note that you have not been served. Shockingly, your plate is licked clean. It's got the like wet saliva polish to it. Sitting towards the end near Grandpa, you see a small mechanical bear that is like sat up on 4 or 5 books, and is like, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "Well, I'm doing good. How are you?" He's like, "I'm doing good. I'm Vasler." You hear, "Oh, nice to meet you. You can call me Reggie." He goes, "Oh, that's a good name. Hey, Reggie, you ever sell your soul for something you really wanted? Just curiosity. You ever need something like done? And I'm a doer. I'm a real go-getter." He goes, "I don't think I ever have. What can you give me?" And like they seem to have this like side conversation about demonic pacts. You look over and like the 2 rat folk are kind of like still chewing, and like there's again much like Cobalt Jones's plate, they're completely empty. Vel, after you walk in and take your seat, you look and you see Bartholomew kind of like walk in and go, "Oh, what a lovely place. Hello." Yes. And they're like, "Oh, wow, we got more elves." And they go, "Are you a butler to my daughter?" He goes, no, technically I am. No, I kind of am. You know, I clean up.
Squire.
Squire, a diplomat.
Squire. Yeah, a diplomat. A translator.
Oh, cool. You speak all kinds of language. That's so nice that you all got one too. And like, got one too, what? And he goes, "Oh, an elf. Like an elf type." He goes, "Oh, Mom. Yes, we're very, very useful. You have an elf individual here?" And he goes, "Yes, well, we hired on staff, you know, nice folks." And like, your mom kind of looks at him and goes, "You know, absolutely handsome in your choice there, my darling daughter. What a lovely elven man you've decided to bring with you on your adventures." He goes, "Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate that." He goes, "Is there?" And he like looks around and like you look and like even though they've made a spot for everyone, there's not a spot for Bartholomew. He goes, "Oh, that's."
You know,
I'll just stand.
No,
It's
it's okay. Take my seat. I'll stand. It's fine.
I think.
No. Take my seat and I'll stand,
Yes.
please.
Sure.
Thank you, Bartholomew.
Sure. He goes and like he takes your spot. He's like, "Okay, well, if you insist," and sits there.
Yeah, I gotta, float around.
The butler comes back out from the kitchen and like continues like filling drinks and stuff and goes over to Velithil. I'm assuming you have your hand raised at this point, and goes, "I'm so terribly sorry. What might I get you? I guess we missed your entree. We have a lovely pork shank."
No, like she wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
There were already enough dishes. Like Vel eats pretty lightly, anyways.
Fair. You look over and he kind of like passes by you. Then goes over to Orville and goes, "Yes, sir. I saw your hand. Yes."
This is more a point for DM.
Yes.
During the soup, is everybody like eating it with a spoon, or like how did that go down?
A few people, like again, most of these folks are not like polite or like noble folk, so they're literally taking it in both hands and they're slurping their soup. And there's like, and they're dipping the bread and getting their hands in it, and just they're moonshiners. They're not really like upper crust nobility. So this elf that is kind of like done like, "This is a delightful meal, this and that," and they're just like, "Sounds great, buddy." And they're just kind of going through that.
All right, I was gonna ask how much of a faux pas would have been to chug the soup.
Oh, not at all.
Okay.
In fact, many of the cousins will try to race you. Yeah.
Can
I'm
I like
definitely
lock
going
eyes
chug,
with one?
chug.
Yeah. Oh, you want to angle on one of them? Sure. Just give me a general Constitution saving throw. We'll just see how well you can chug soup. Hot melted designer soup.
Perfect. That's a 13.
13. Let's see here. Francis will do it. Yeah, with a natural 1. You chug this soup and you see the soup spill down the front of one of the cousins, completely staining their nice dressed wear. They're like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna have to get me another shirt." Good on you, fella. And they flick you a copper coin. They go, "I'll get you next time, you son of a bitch." They go get up and like between all the coming and going of people, they go and change into a different shirt and come back to the dinner table.
I love it.
Yeah. As makes the rounds, the butler kind of goes through and goes, "Oh, yes, and what can I get you, Bartholomew?" He goes, "Oh, Iskarat. No, I don't think And they both like stop and they look at each other and they go, ah, shit. And they just kind of like stare at each other and go, oh, no.
Oh, y'all know each other.
Mm-hmm. And you see
How
like
do y'all?
the blonde elf kind of like slowly peel their hair back a bit and they stand up proper. And they go, good to see you. And you as well, brother. You're very far from
shit.
home. He goes, yes, you as well. I thought you were a drug addict. He goes, I was, tell you the truth, and then I found I worked at an ice cream shop and I met these lovely folks. He goes, wonderful. So food, because food would be great. Because we'll have something whipped up from the kitchen. Such a delight. Goes and like slowly like walks to the kitchen, like is like tilts, and you see Bartholomew kind of like sit up straight and go, and then turn and look to.
Bartholomew,
Yes.
how many more brothers are we going to come across? Sisters?
We had a
cousins?
rather large family.
We should talk about something a little more serious, like the fact that you were a drug addict.
Oh, yes,
you didn't
I was.
know.
No,
he's
well,
better
yes.
now.
Yeah, we knew
Yes.
that. We knew that.
I spent quite a long time hanging out with a number of unsavory individuals.
We've
Yes.
I feel like that's a very important detail that nobody said.
Oh, I
How
mean,
many times
it's-
have we tried to
he's a-
give you and do things that?
Well, that's what I was trying to imply
Didn't.
with those. Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Celeste. Yeah, no, he's in recovery, and he's doing great. Bartholomew is doing great. Making strides, continuing to live on every day. I hope I'm not
I
speaking
think-
for you.
No,
Yeah.
I think personally I've done remarkable. Haven't had anything to drink in quite a good amount of time. No drugs or abusing of any narcotics in quite a while. So that's good.
Okay. Here's the thing. No matter what Jonesy says,
Mhm.
don't agree to any bets. Okay?
Oh,
No bets.
Okay,
Oh.
sure.
Now, I'm not just saying this because I am jealous of your place as being number one. I am saying this
Mhm.
for the betterment of you and your health, buddy.
Of course.
Don't agree to
And
any bets with Jonesy.
I am going to say this to you, Miss
Okay.
Celeste. Do not, under any circumstances,
Okay.
allow Vasler to threaten your kneecaps. He will take you on a wild adventure of murder and a litany of breaking and entering, of which you will perform a crime. You will do the crime, as they say, and someone will stab you angrily while muttering in an infernal language. Also, your hair may or may not partly catch fire when they rebuke you with hellfire. So marvelous day. I feel that's a fair trade. I'll watch out for Mr. Jones, and you can watch out for
Kneecaps.
yeah, your kneecaps. It looks like he's making a friend there, so hopefully I've saved. And you look and you say, you see the old man goes, so you're telling me I could live for all eternity? He goes,
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You just never die. Of course, I have to become, like your buddy, and I'm like your best friend. And honestly, I think that'd work out marvelously for you, old man. I mean, you got what, 10, 20 years left at most, not even. But you could live forever. You could see your grandkids. He goes, hell, that's a heck of an offer, Mr. Visler. He goes, it's Vasler, but that's okay. Yeah. I just think that together we could do marvelous things. He goes, well, do you happen to have a card or something like that? He goes, I do not, but I do have a stiff in the carriage. I could, proof of work or whatever. He goes, right. We'll have a talk about that after dinner. He goes, all right, great. Trying to keep it in the family.
How wonderful. JJ will as she's standing and eating,
Mhm.
go and pat E's shoulder and kind of just say sorry, but also thanks for coming.
Yeah, she looks at you and she goes, yeah, no, a coffee would have been fine. Several dead people loaded into a carriage on the orders of you to kill a cult. Not what I was expecting on my time off.
I wasn't expecting them to go kill the whole cult.
Oh, okay. They said that you needed it done.
Oh, well, they tried to kill me in a alleyway alone.
Well, then fuck them.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
No, I know. I get that.
Apparently, like some demon treasure. I don't know. Weird,
okay.
Weird things.
Sure.
Happen.
Yeah.
But glad you could at least come get a nice meal with us, and
it is nice. Nice to meet your family. They're cool.
Yeah, I didn't expect this many people.
Yeah, I didn't either. So that's cool.
I thought it would just be Mom and Pop.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you eat. We'll catch up. Still get that coffee if you want, unless this is enough.
This is good. No, this is good. This is
yeah.
It's good to add some context to
this
whole thing you're doing.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'll let you be for a little bit.
All right, thanks. Can I get a refill on the soup? It kind of goes through. But yeah, dinner is extravagant. Eventually, you do see Isker kind of come back and return and provide food to Bartholomew. And you look at it, and Bartholomew's plate is nothing that's been served thus far. It's like this weird looking like collection of what seems like an escargot with like fish roe over the top of it, and like some like fried calamari that's kind of like encircled it. He goes, "Hey, my brother, your favorite fish?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, you remembered. Delightful. I'll have as much of it as you have back there." He goes, "Very good, brother. I will so enjoy serving you as much as your fill." And then like kind of moves away from Bartholomew, and you see JJ's mother kind of go and goes, "Oh, that's so nice. You invited your brother to dinner?" He goes, "No, I believe your daughter invited my brother to dinner, and it's quite all right. He's such a joy. And definitely not a horrible monster of the thing. Anyway, I'm gonna go check on the kitchen. Thank you." And like immediately darts behind there, and you just see and you look, and like Buddy kind of like takes a fork and like pokes at the escargot, and it kind of like moves a little bit. He's like, "Oh, and it's still alive. Oh, great. Okay,
Buddy,
yeah. Yes.
do you
Fine dining.
Do you want me to go get the egg that I didn't eat? The big ostrich?
No, it's
Here,
all right.
Here, buddy, have mine, and I'll hand him my plate.
Is your plate empty?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Not that much of a monster.
He kind of looks at it and goes, No, it's all right.
No, please, I insist.
You're allergic to fish, aren't you?
What? No, I'm not allergic to fish. I once... Well, remember the river we talked about before?
Oh...
So my brother is not very good at that game.
Oh, that game!
Yeah.
And you beat him at the game.
I didn't really beat him so much as he beat himself a lot of the time. I've always kind of been a bit of a klutz. So he would typically try to push me, he'd fall over me, and then he'd wash out all the way to the ocean. He wasn't much of a swimmer.
Distance.
That's a long way.
Yeah, we weren't... The Iridan family is not known particularly for being fast on their feet. So we would just kind of watch him pass and wave to him and wait until he snagged on something or washed out to sea. And, it happened more than once. So, yeah. No, this looks great. Seafood, fresh seafood. Yeah, look at that. And he like stabs one of the still wiggling pieces of octopus, and he's like, "Oh, delightful. How do you even get octopus? Oh, that is salty. Okay." Like starts like gum chewing this calamari.
Huh.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. But yeah, with that, you all do have a pretty great dinner, all things concerned. It takes the better part of the evening. You all kind of like eventually end in dessert, which actually is like a stranger kind of like more southern dessert. You all are provided like a fried piece of like an elephant ear that has like a powdered sugar across of it. And it seems that something that your mother has specifically requested and prepared for this kind of like fried dough.
Thanks, Ma. You remembered.
She goes, of course. And she's like, gotta make sure they do one thing right tonight.
Yeah, thank you. This is fantastic.
Of course.
Thank you for having all of us. I really appreciate it.
It's so nice to have you and your friends over, and it's been a while, and I didn't want to spare anything, and we don't know how long you're going to be here, and I know we haven't get much time to talk, but it's just nice to see you.
Yeah, of course. It's great to see you too, and I'm glad to see y'all really taking off. Has her dad come back yet?
No, he's not returned since the middle of dinner.
I'll be right back, Ma.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go take the rest of Dad's dinner up to him, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, if you wait, he'll be along shortly. I'm sure it's all his business talk.
Yeah, I'll just go check on him, just to see. All right, I'll be right back.
Of course.
DM, can I insight this move?
What do you mean?
Like JJ's hesitancy or apprehension.
Oh, I think there's very clear and present worry on her face.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If you're trained, you probably could see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to accompany her.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, you
I'll silently hop up and
head up the stairs with JJ.
Yeah, she's gonna try and like quietly walk on up and kind of put her ear to the door and whatnot.
You press your ear to the door. Go ahead and give me a perception
check.
check.
To her as we start making our way up the stairs. Like, JJ, I can just see through the door.
This is also true.
Oh, right, but okay, if you could like, that's so weird, Orville.
Yeah, it's really weird. But,
if you could like,
I'm getting used to it, I guess.
Let me know like maybe what type of person's behind there, but I kind of want to hear. I don't know. He was kind of weird.
Of course. Whatever you need from me.
Okay, great. All right, let's go.
All right, you want me to take a look through the door?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool.
You look and focus through the door. Orville, you look through and you don't see the ethereal spirits of anything in that room.
Right. JJ, in a whisper.
Mhm.
JJ, there's nobody in that room. There ain't nobody in there, or I can't see through it.
Oh, they probably have it
What kinda?
warded.
Is that some magic stuff?
Yes, it's some
Alright,
magic stuff.
Alright. I see.
Okay.
Alright, well, if you're not back in like 5 minutes, I'll come up looking for you.
Okay.
It's awful suspicious for me to be here too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe just staying at the end of the hall.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Or
JJ, for just a second, even though she's pretty sure that she will not hear anything, she'll press her ear up to the door.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. $17.
17. You press your ear to the door. You wait and wait. You don't hear anything.
All right, she will stand up, kind of brush herself off, and knock on the door.
Okay, you knock on it. Dunk, dunk, dunk. No response.
She will jiggle the handle.
You jiggle the handle. You feel the door is locked. There's definitely the bolt is in place. And you can hear the rattling of the chain. The door is locked from the inside.
Okay. All right. She will just kind of mosey on back down and pat Orville on the shoulder. You know,
Join her.
he's not answering and can't hear anything, and the door's locked. So
That's a little bit worrisome.
you know, truly. But you know, I'll leave him be. I already intruded on one meeting today.
You did?
Yeah. With the McNally fella.
Oh, right.
All right. Well, thank you, Orville. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
no problem. Back down, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
You guys rejoin everyone there at the dinner table?
Yep, she'll kind of just lean on like her mom's chair
Okay.
as she eats her elephant ear.
You lean on your mother's chair and she goes, "Oh, would you go and get a talk with him?"
He wouldn't answer the door, so
Excuse me?
yeah, he wouldn't answer the door. It's locked.
Did you knock on it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Well, he's not too good to answer his daughter. Yo.
Well, you know, I didn't call out or anything. I just knocked.
And she gets up.
It's okay. Don't worry about it, Ma. Just he's busy. It's all right.
All right. Well, it's nothing to say there. It's like, I know they put that big heavy door there, but you know, just because he wanted to spend on some nice piece of wood doesn't mean that he gets to keep it from family. So
It's okay. Don't worry.
if you need to get him, I'll tear this whole house apart.
I know you could.
Mm-hmm. She kind of just like returns to eating and like chatting up the rest of the family. As dinner kind of like winds down in dessert, she invites everyone to kind of like entreat out on the back patio. Like this like beautiful looking kind of like mezzanine area. There are a number of like kind of like bright pieces of marbling that have been affixed to this like beautiful country home. A beautiful like bit of vinery runs the length of like the barrier out on the back porch, and it kind of like runs up the back side of the building itself. And you all kind of like look out into like the open air. The cold wind breezes through and sends a chill and a shiver down those of you that are more susceptible to the cold, as it is the winter winds coming in from the north. You all kind of look out as a group and this whole family, and begin to kind of just like peer out into the night. With that, JJ, if you still kind of look around the area, you look up to your father's study, and the light is still on, and you notice that the window to it is hanging open.
Does it look like there's any way to get around to it? Like, is there a balcony that runs the top or anything?
You look and there's no balcony. But as you kind of like look around the area, there are vines that run the length of the kind of like back area do run up the side of the house and are like thick, heavy vines that have been grown into there. It's almost like a what's that? A trellis? Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like an old country design for this house.
Does it look like out of the way or anything?
No, not terribly out of the way. Like probably, like I mean, it's not in like the back patio area, but like just like a bit off on that side of the house, and like kind of like that open part of the spire area that grows up into it.
Could she potentially sneak her way up?
I don't think you could sneak your way up in front of like the 15 odd people that are here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Shit.
As you all do look out onto this like beautiful night sky at this point, you begin to hear this kind of like long groaning, hissing, whistling sound cut through the open air, and you hear this large boom, this kind of like echo across the land. And as you look out into the distance, some couple hundred feet from you guys, like maybe at this point, maybe a mile or two out in the distance, you see a bright beacon of bolted light, almost like a meteor, that seems to kind of like cascade down and continue to go through. And at first, it just appears to be a beautiful light kind of across the horizon. And then as it continues to descend further and further still, you note that it is, just a handful of miles away. And you see a big ball of radiant fire erupt out from the sky and crash. And you hear this large explosion of a sound that echoes and reaches a cacophony. All of the windows on the home of the Lightning family rattle and shake as this large kind of boom echoes through and crashes down to the earth.
Does it
What direction?
It's a bit northward through Hunter's Reach. You guys are to the north of Deerwood. So this is about northwest of your current location. You look at it and it's close enough that you can hear the reverberation and echoes of it from the valley. And now you can see this big, large plume in the night sky that seems to obscure a bit of the moonlight this evening.
Does it have any sort of like similarity to what made the crater when Orville got the staff?
You're trained in insight. You'd say that it's very similar. In fact, it seems like there is something that has fallen from the sky, some couple miles away from you guys.
Y'all, that's a lot like the thing that Orville's got.
Yep.
I will. Orville will produce the stick.
Mhm.
And,
Yep, it's a whole.
do a quick flurry with it and see if you can feel anything.
You feel a stick in your hands, yeah.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Should I see if this has anything to say, or should I make some space between me and the folks before doing so?
I would
Wait,
make some.
has it spoken to you since?
Hasn't spoken to me.
Nope.
Per se.
Well, we should probably go check it out before someone else does.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Hey Fee, are you up to a little traveling? Are you
She looks at you. She has half of a pork loin that she like stole, and she's been chewing on. She's like, "I'm sorry."
That's where it went.
I'm sorry. What? I mean, I'm in like my night dress. I could go with you. Where are we going?
go check that out?
Oh no. I think
No?
I'll hold down the home fort here. No, I try not to make a habit of fighting in fancy clothes. I get yelled at when I do that.
Oh, I think that could be an awesome like trademark of yours.
You're right. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
And she turns and looks and points at Bartholomew. She goes, "You." He goes, "Oh yes, hi, me. Yes, hi." She goes, "My axe is in the carriage. Can you go get that?" And he goes, "Oh, yes, I can. Just a
Thank
moment."
you, buddy.
And, like Bartholomew like starts walking back through the house. You see him like open the door, and his brother's standing in the door, and goes, "Looking for something, brother?" He goes, "I'm going to fetch someone's axe." He goes, "We are truly bound by fate, are we not?" He goes, "Yep, sure are." "Excuse me," and like pushes him and like walks through that and just like walks through the house. His brother kind of like walks back out on the patio and goes, "Might there be anything that I can do for you?" And goes and like talks to your mother, and your mother like goes around and, like orders everyone like extra drinks. But yeah.
Does his brother come around to us at all?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he'll be like, "Can I get you anything to drink while you are waiting?"
Yeah, could I have a nice tall glass of Go Help Bartholomew? Thank you.
A nice call. I'll see if we have that in stock, sir, of course. And for the rest of you?
Nope, just all good. You know, thank you so much, and thank you for helping my ma.
Of course.
And glad to see another Iriden around, you know.
Oh, yes.
Glad to have met another one of y'all.
Oh,
I
good.
think
Yes.
that's like the third or fourth this week.
Great. Oh, that's
So.
wonderful. The whole family's getting the time to shine, I guess. Wonderful. Thank you. I'm
I'm
so pleased.
gonna point at like a spot on his chest and be like, "Hey, bud, you got something right there."
He looks down.
and just
You flick the nose. He's and there's like this moment of like he clutches his fist tightly, his like gloved hand. He's like, oh, I remember this. Yes, very good, sir. That was a cracking good joke. Thank you.
Orville will go to high five Kobold Jones.
Because
Put
I
the hand behind the back. The hand behind the back. High five.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, awful.
Well, we hate to bid all y'all adieu.
Mm.
But we're gonna go check some stuff out. Duty callings call.
Your mother looks to you and goes, oh, well, you just got here and... Well, hell, sure thing then, JJ. I understand. You gotta go do the hero girl thing. I just wish I wish your father had stuck around long enough to see you out. I'll send him I'll send you his well wishes.
Hold on. She's gonna stand in front of the window and yell up, Pa, I gotta go. See you later. If you're not gonna come down, you're not gonna come down. It's alright.
You call out and say this and no response.
Yeah. Well.
How high up is it?
At this point, it's the third story. So what's that, like about 40 foot?
Oh damn!
Assume their house is on like actual like farm property, so it has an undercroft. So from the ground, it's probably closer to like 50-ish feet.
Jay, you don't want to go up and say bye? I mean, it's
I already
a
tried.
long time.
You know, I already tried. So. I mean, I can try and throw something up there real quick, but. You know.
Okay.
It's a little far for me to teleport, but he's not responding. That kind of signaling concerns.
It is signaling concerns. Meeting some fella named Corville. I don't know who that is.
Do you want to? Should we go up there? Wait, are we worried or are we not worried?
I mean, I am, but you know.
The family first. Let's go upstairs.
Okay. All right. JJ is going to return up, I guess, with everyone in tow and just kind of bang on the door.
You bang.
Say, Dad.
Boom, boom, boom.
Dad.
No response.
Okay.
Celeste, Jones, open the door.
Yep, I will hit with my axe on the hinges
Yep.
of the door and just do like the full-on SWAT move and just kick it.
Kobold, through the door! Yeah, I mean, magical axe, you break the living hell out of the hinges and shatter them instantly. You kick the door down, it falls, and kind of like swings over on the chain that's still attached to the side of the wall. The bolt snaps the wood of it and makes a huge, kind of thunderous sound. You look in, and you look into this small office. You find JJ's father leaned over his desk. And his face is flat down on like a stack of paperwork.
Oh no. Dad?
I'll run up and do a medicine check.
You walk up, medicine check, you check his neck. There's no pulse. You look over and you can hear the creaking sound of the window in his room, kind of hanging listily open in the wind.
Dad?
No response.
I'm gonna pull him back and kind of like check him out and see if I can tell what caused this. Like if he's got like a slash in his neck or.
Sure, yeah. You kind of pull gingerly on like the backs of his shoulders and pull him up, and sat in the middle of his chest, right where his heart is. You see this coiled kind of serpentine black dagger that has been deposited into the front of his chest.
Oh, no.
At this point, JJ, I need you to make me a sanity check.
Oh, can she elect to fail?
You 100% can fail.
Yeah.
Take a point of sanity. So yes, you pull back and reveal that Mr. Lightning has not survived the dinner with his daughter's reunion and return. And with that, I think is a perfect time to take a 2-week break from Second Wake, y'all. Welcome to Chapter 1. I hope everyone's having fun. With that, as always, I have been Karim Zamir. They have been the Seekers of Galanti. Let's go ahead here and we will raid our friends, the Pale Dragon. They're another D&D stream that they do the good stuff. So we'll do that. I don't know if that'll do it. Oh, wait. Did I do it? Oh, I didn't do it. Boop, there we go. I have to use the command. So with that, as always, guys, we went a little bit late, but I wanted to make sure we hit the right notes to end things on. I think it's always fun to get to the places, peoples, and things that have happened. So yes, with that, as always, folks, I bid you a fond farewell. I'll see some of you next week, but for those of you I don't see next week, I'll see you hopefully in 2 weeks for more Second Wake. As always, peace out.